Screw it, we're going live now. Nikhil said he had a tech issue, but that's his fault. So that means I can actually just start on this camera that doesn't have his thing ported into it. Let me get that set up. There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the newly named Matt and Nikhil's Funtime Universe. Episode 4. Currently not featuring Nikhil, but featuring Nikhil in like a minute, hopefully. You know he'll be here because he was just on the live. Let me make sure I have everything else set up here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the Prime sub, Lion Man. Hello, Mother. Welcome. I turned points on. I turned channel points on. I forgot, since I didn't stream Saturday, I forgot to fix everything after D&D and get the format back to this normal. What's on the stream docket for today? Well, I'm getting a call from Nikhil, so we'll tell you together. Maybe. There we go. And... oh. Hold on. My NDI source didn't... oh, wait, no. Your camera's just not on.
What do you mean my camera's not on? It was on 2 seconds ago.
People can hear you, but your camera is... this is Nikhil. He's a Skype logo.
Literally every time I'm calling you, it shows that my camera's on and working, and then the moment you pick up,
that seems like a you problem. But I think audible. I think he's audible.
Yes.
Chat, can you confirm that you can hear Nikhil? Skype sucks. Yeah, I'm looking at... I've done the Zoom rant before, because I'm still very mad at Zoom as a company for that whole thing. But yeah, we are looking at better systems, but that's not going to be a thing till October. We can hear. Okay, cool. But he's kind of quiet. That I can fix on my end. There he is. He's just a little tiny.
Hold on. This is not real. Don't trust it.
Don't... what? Wait, hold on. 2-year sub anniversary for Amy? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Someone else subbed you for 2 years.
I guess this is just the 2-year month. That's wild.
Yeah. Jongo Pongo did.
Oh, JP did? I missed... oh, what's up, JP? Thank you. Can't you use Discord? No. I refuse to go on the NDI rant again because I shouldn't have done it in the first place. But, yeah. Discord doesn't let you port cameras in like we need. It's weird. The only systems that let you port cameras in like this, or at least the only mainline ones, are Skype, Microsoft Teams, which does not work for our purposes, and Zoom, which is expensive. So, Zoom. That's what we have.
Zoom.
Okay, let me get my concurrent TikTok live set up really quick. Let me see. I need to get if you're going to be here regularly, I need to get an overlay that gives you like a full border and not just like awkwardly puts you in the announcements box. That won't take me long. I just need to
I do think we should look into doing it the guest way next time.
Yeah, I do need to figure out how guest star works on Twitch, because heck if I know.
I need that sweet carry.
Yeah, by the way, everybody, because there's a decent amount of people here now. First off, hello. Secondly, you should also go follow Nikhil if you're not following Nikhil already, because he streams now, and he streams on the days I don't. So with our powers combined, we can entertain you every single day.
Every day.
Yeah, because that's something that I'm sure everybody wants. We're inescapable. All right, is this going to update? I'd love for this to update. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. I actually got my TikTok background screenshot at the exact time you were doing finger guns at the camera.
Why in the fuck are you requesting for those who sit above in shadow? Is this an Immortal Thor thing?
Those who sit above in shadow. I don't know.
They've been in like 10 comics. Half of them are all Al Ewing, and I'm willing to bet it's an Immortal Thor.
If it's an Immortal Thor thing, I haven't read it yet, and I probably will, so I don't want to spoil it for myself. Okay.
But you've read Agents of Asgard, right?
Yeah, I have read Agents of Asgard.
They're like the gods above the gods in that.
I wonder if that's going to matter for Gods, the series. Oh, also, by the way, while we're kind of talking about overlay stuff, yes, I know Nikhil's face gets covered by like the notifications. We've both agreed that we think that's funny, and so I'm not changing it. So if you follow or subscribe, you get to cover Nikhil's face. It's 100% going to matter for Gods. Dude, I'm so curious.
It's going to matter for Gods. It's what I think is going to be one of the bigger cosmic shakeups. Is I think Al Ewing is making Immortal Thor to be like, these people matter. And then
I'm
Hickman's
so
gonna be like,
curious
yeah,
how
they do,
Dodge is gonna
bitches.
go. For those who don't know, and we're stalling as I set up my TikTok live, and then we'll get into like the actual stream topic. Marvel's doing a new series that's gonna like redefine their magic and their cosmology, and it's done by Jonathan Hickman. And I think it's either gonna be like super good cult classic or huge flop. And I'm really hoping the first one.
No, neither. It's gonna be a mainstream hit. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, because deep lore Jonathan Hickman Marvel cosmology it's gonna be interesting.
What it is, it's cosmic Hoxpox. Like that's what he's always pitched it as. And Hoxpox rocked.
Hoxpox rocks, but also I feel like X-Men redefining is going to be more popular than like Doctor Strange adjacent redefining.
I think it's gonna be.
I'm really excited about it.
Also, the biggest issue with why Marvel Cosmic and Magic doesn't work is that the rules don't make any goddamn sense. And I think he's
Hickman's
finally
probably
gonna give us rules.
fix it, yeah.
Just like he's the one who fucking set Omega to be a thing that makes sense.
If Gods is popular enough, I will 110% cosplay win. Because I already like his vibe.
His vibe is
I already like his vibe.
I will say, his appearance in the Hellfire Gala, I did not like. Only because I didn't understand why it was happening. I was like, why are we in an ad right now? But
he really did just like walk up and was there for a bit. But
yeah, he was there to say like a line, and then he was like, yeah, God, bitch, and then he left.
But yeah, I 100% will cosplay this nerd. Okay, let me see. Gods is gonna have multiverse elements too. Is it?
I don't know.
I haven't seen anything about that, but I kind of hope not.
I hope not too. I'd like it to just focus on, like, the biggest question in Marvel is like, what the fuck are the gods? And we know that they're working for the old gods. So like, let's see who the fuck made the world, man. Let's do it. I don't need to get into the multiverse.
I'm mostly done with the multiverse trope. Spider-Verse is good. The Spider-Verse movies can keep doing it. I am very done with anyone else using the multiverse trope. It has been done to death.
Shit. No, someone is right, though. It absolutely does set the multiverse, because the whole thing is that people are bringing in Tesseracts from different universes. That's like the setup that's already been established.
That is true. So, hopefully it will be more stable. Also, my TikTok live is done now, so we can start doing technically what we are here to do. Now, we should do some level of recap. We're not going to do a full recap of this, but for anyone who's new, this is the 4th episode of this little Marvel rewrite series that we're doing. We'll cover a little bit of a recap at some point, but also the first 3 episodes are available on my VODs YouTube, which is in the link tree that's above me. We'll also put a link in chat.
And I'm in 2 of them, bitches.
He is in 2 out of 3, because you weren't in episode. You were briefly in 1, you weren't in 2, and now you're just here.
Now I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
Until I die.
Go follow my YouTube. There's good stuff there, and I need to get 1,000 subscribers on it to monetize people, but it's been growing very slowly.
You don't have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube?
It's just my Twitch VODs, and I haven't advertised it very much.
I have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I have nothing.
Tell your friends, everybody. Subscribe to Nikhil's Twitch and my YouTube, and it'll balance out perfectly.
Also subscribe to my YouTube, because one day there'll be things on there.
Perfect logic. No faults there.
If you're one of the 1.2K that are already there. Also, I had 1.2K 2 years ago. At this point, since I've posted nothing, maybe less.
Someone says let the strike end. I don't know what that's about, but let the strike end when the producers do good things.
They're doing it right. I just said that. I said catch me here until the strike ends.
Oh, I didn't.
And they said let the strike end.
I totally missed that. Okay. Let's see. So, what we've done so far in this series is we're making like our own sort of alternate Marvel universe, like Heroes Reborn but better, and like the Ultimates universe but better. And what we started with was we did like some precedent stuff, which is... What are you doing into the camera right now?
Oh my god, you noticed.
Yeah, I have your Skype up on my big monitor. I can see everything that you do.
I always make random faces at this camera. I used to do it all the time in D&D too.
Someone didn't explain badly for Gambit. I'm going to let you take that one.
Man, you know how many times I've had to roast Gambit on my Twitch? Let's think. Explain a character badly for Gambit. He's like a little Cajun guy. He does no wrong. He does not understand morals. There you go.
All right. requirement fulfilled. Anyway, what we've done so far in this universe is we did, like, episode 1 was kind of like set up, establishing some of the rules of this world, and then doing sort of the first arc of, like, how superheroes come to be. Then we did some Avengers stuff, setting up the first Avengers team. We did some magic things. Well, actually, I did magic things, because that was the episode where Nikhil wasn't there. Because I like magic stuff. And so I did a whole bunch with that. Then we did mutants, which I'll just put this up on the screen. We went a little off the rails with mutants, which I'm fine with. And then I think we ended with the big mutants crossover thing being a version of the Kulan Gath turns everybody into medieval people, which I think is where we're going to pick up today. Now,
Kulan Gath.
For those who don't know what this is, I would love to bring up a picture of this for reference, and I don't know what to Google. Kulan Gath Avengers might do it.
Haul, by the way, Matt, if I'm here for the long haul, would you mind shooting me this Google Doc?
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. I don't know why I hadn't done that yet. Hold on, let me swap these around, but as I do that, I'll bring this visual aid up on screen so that everyone can behold this nonsense. Is that centered? It's centered enough. Here, as I do that, Nikhil, explain what the Kulan Gath thing is for everybody.
Okay, so long time ago, in the dawn of the 80s, there was this guy named Kulan Gath. Well, in the 80s in our world, there was a guy named Kulan Gath, and Kulan Gath is a Conan the Barbarian character, and they don't have the rights to him anymore, so it's legally distinct Kulan Gath now. But Kulan Gath was like, hey, you know what was lit? Conan times. That's the time I'm from. So he just basically did a WandaVision. It was very similar. He cast the thing over New York, and everyone inside New York thought they were from Conan times, and they were just living their Conan times life. And that includes the X-Men and the Avengers, and that was fun. Selene, the Black Sorceress, I forgot her name all of a sudden, but Selene, the Black Priestess, I
would not know.
She's not affected. She's older than Conan times, so she's not affected somehow, which is fun. And then also, she helped stop Kulan Gath. And also, there's a thing with Warlock, who's like an alien that's like a robot, and he's not supposed to be there either. But that's the things. There's also a horrifying image that I hope I could find and send to Matt, and that he can
also,
put up.
I just emailed you the link to the docs so that you also have access there.
Nice.
Also, as we're looking at this, I just want to note, like, this is, you know, the medieval versions of everybody, right? And you can't really see Captain America because he's on the edge of the image, but there you go. I don't know what it is with Marvel, Kulan Gath, medieval times, and people not wearing pants, but man, almost no one has pants in this event.
Oh yeah, no.
Look at this. Look at what Captain America is wearing. Like, other people have like tunics and stuff at the very least. Captain America just isn't wearing pants. Like, I don't know what. He just doesn't have pants. And yes, I don't actually know why Spider-Man just looks the same.
Oh, that's the thing too. Spider-Man's also not affected.
Spider-Man's not affected. Yeah.
If I'm for some reason, Spider-Man's not affected. So he's like the one who's going around trying to get people to help.
If you look at our beautiful document here, you can see that we typed out a version of the Kulan Gath thing. Like, specifically, what we wrote was verbatim a version of the Kulan Gath thing, because this event doesn't have a name.
That's because it's not really an event, to my understanding. I think it's just an arc in X-Men that happens to include all the Avengers and Spider-Man saving their ass.
It's one of those things where it's a crossover that's not an event. Even though it really should have been.
It's like 1979 or something. Like, it is before they really started doing that kind of shit. Put that up. Show that to the chat. That is the cover of one of these issues.
What's happening here? I'm gonna put it in the. Can I just do this?
I'll explain it to you in the chat. See it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be way easier. Let me shrink it down so that it's more. That's not what I meant to do. Hold on. I don't know why I decided to do it like this. This was an ineffective way to show this image off. But yeah, this is. It's on the screen. Explain what this awfulness is.
This is the cover of one of the comics that we're talking about right now. And what it is Kulan Gath has somehow merged Caliban the mutant and Professor X. And for some reason, it looks like that. But that's like how he
Oh,
finds space.
okay, wait, hold on. This was something that I couldn't even parse what this is, but tell me if I'm wrong here. Professor X head, Caliban face on chest, arm,
Yes.
leg, like sitting cross-legged. Is that what this is?
Yes, that's exactly
Bad.
what it is.
Bad. Don't get that off my screen. Bad. And we're going to be starting there. So, what I think we said at the end of last episode was we were going to use this as like a segue for sci-fi alien stuff, right? Because we hadn't really touched aliens in this universe yet. The closest that we got was like we have some Asgardians. The one bit that we have of aliens so far is Groot is here. Groot is actually on our original Avengers team, and the recurring bit for Groot is people keep thinking that he is like just the relevant monster for the arc. Like our first sort of year one arc has these like mutated monster people that are created by the Jackal. Originally people think Groot is one of those. And then when we get to like the mutants arc, people think that he is like an X-gene mutant. But he can't correct anyone because it's Groot. He is not capable of doing that. And so then it gets revealed in like this that he's actually an alien. So that's the recurring bit for Groot is people think he's something different every time. And then it's finally revealed that he's just an alien. And what we wanted to do was we do the Kulan Gath thing, some version of that, and we'll type out specifics. That's why we're here. Where I guess New York or whatever area we want gets sort of medieval times. We'll come up with a better word for that. And then that's also the introduction of space stuff. So like Groot is there, Rocket is there, and so it's medieval stuff. But then there are also like sci-fi alien tech people there that are fixing it.
Well, I think we'll go into the WandaVision of it, and like it's a fixed location that's been medieval. So I think you just have space shit, is crossing into it and fucking up.
Someone asked, what are we building this universe for? Just for fun or for a role-playing setting? Fun and content. This is our jobs. We're here to entertain you.
I'm here purely for fun.
You're here purely for fun and advertising. And advertising.
It's true. And advertising.
Fun and marketing.
And also follow me on Twitch.
Okay, so do we just want to leave Kulan Gath the same where it just medievalizes people?
Yeah,
okay.
I think he just medievalizes people.
So, a version of the Kulan Gath thing. I will remove the question mark then. Oh, okay. I guess important thing then. Who is Kulan Gath? Do we want to make him more distinct in our universe? Do we want to change his origin a little bit so that he's not just a character from the Conan mythos?
Okay, here's my point.
Okay.
I think we play into the idea of what they've had to do since, because they no longer have the rights. And our version of Kulan Gath is a normal guy from this time who is for some reason very obsessed with Kulan Gath and pretends to be him.
Okay.
Because officially, the stance, though it's never been explained, is that in 616,
he's an imposter.
This is an imposter of Kulan Gath.
As evidence, here's his wiki page. It just says Kulan Gath, imposter.
It's literally just legally distinct Kulan Gath. So I think we have a literal cosplaying Kulan Gath.
Okay.
And that's why he's bringing everyone back to medieval times. It's like, that's when Kulan was around.
Okay, so he's actually
cool.
just like a fanatical super cosplayer, basically. I like that.
Yes.
Okay, so he's a fanatical, I will put in parentheses, fanatic super cosplayer, which not that literally, or maybe if we think that's funny enough. But
literally,
how does he get the magic to do this? Because another thing we established in a couple episodes ago is this is like a low magic world until like the second year of the book, at which point magic like starts coming back into the world, and that's like an arc of magic sort of coming back. So how is he gonna get magic for this?
I don't know, but he loves Kulan. He loved it even when magic didn't exist. Now magic exists, so he's gonna find a way to get some magic because Kulan's a magic boy.
That is true. I'm looking through Kulan Gath's. Kulan Gath imposter. I'm looking through his info right now.
Someone just like make him literally a super cosplayer. Anything he cosplays, he gets the powers of.
That is, first off, Hallows Eve.
Well,
secondly, that's an interesting concept.
but it's fine. It's not overpowered because he only likes Kulonga.
He has a huge power set, but just doesn't use it.
He didn't even know because he's never cosplayed anyone else other than Kulongath, and then the moment magic kicked back in, it was suddenly working. He had no idea how that was possible.
Okay. At one point, he does a thing to try to get the power of Shumagarath. Do we just want to say he does a Shumagarath thing and that's how he has power?
You don't want to do the cosplay thing?
No. Like, I mean, that is the cosplay thing, but like, how does he get? Or are you saying that he's like a mutant and that's? Oh, I get it. I think I'm okay.
I'm saying this man actively pretends to be Kulongath, but magic doesn't exist, so he doesn't realize that his mutant powers kick in. And then when magic comes back, he does it again, and this time magic actually happens.
Is a mutant who has, I'm just going to write down cosplay powers, but only uses them for one thing.
Are we inventing a new character for this? Here's the thing, not technically, because we can't prove this is not the person who was impostoring Kulongath in 616.
That is true. Also, we're allowed to do a little bit. We're allowed to rewrite people very heavily. I have Doyle Dormammu as Hellstorm in this universe. Like, we can do a lot.
Here, just do this too. Just double up on the
okay
on the thing there, so that it's still true. And now we define what that
Impostior.
Impostior.
But yeah, I guess I should note, the sort of pseudo rules for this, not that we stick too hard to the rules, is like, we're not making our own superhero universe, we are making a different Marvel universe, so in general, we're going to try to stick to like, some of the same tones, themes, a lot of the same characters, but like, alter them pretty heavily. But the goal is to use Marvel things in a new way, not make up our own new stuff. Okay, so... and he sends everybody back to medieval times. That's still the same.
That's facts. And he does it.
Okay.
He wants to see how Kulon lived, man.
Really funny idea about this. It actually weirdly makes sense to use this as the segue into sci-fi. That's what I was trying to say. To sci-fi stuff. Because the spell can affect, like, living beings, but like the spell that he uses can affect like humans and animals and stuff, and Groot is able to not be affected because Groot's a plant and he doesn't time travel the plants back, and so Groot's fine. That actually makes so much sense to give us the sci-fi segue.
Love it.
And that I can't believe we sort of blundered into something that makes so much sense. He makes everybody go back to medieval times. He's not casting a spell on the trees, so Groot's just fine. That's so dumb, but makes so much actual sense. Okay, cool. Writing this down. I always forget. There we go. So, casts... I call it something different every time. Like, what do we call... I'm just going to say time spell. Cast
the KGT, the Kulongath thing. It's a document.
Let me Google to make sure that acronym isn't something that already exists and would be something we don't want to type. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, cool. It's a Turkish public safety organization. That's fine. CAS.
Or it's Klingon for the Galactic.
Yeah,
Family.
I didn't think that's. What is that? Klingon for whatever. He casts KGT, and I will put in parentheses. Actually, wait, hold on. Kulongath thing. I will put in parentheses KGT up there. That's not the right parentheses. Kulongath thing. On NYC. Cast KGT on NYC. Perfect. But the spell doesn't affect Groot because Groot's just a tree.
He's just
Groot's
Groot,
a tree. So obviously that makes a lot of sense, and I do enjoy. Yeah, Groot takes over Warlock's role. Yes, we've thought that before. Groot is the sort of stand-in for Warlock in this version.
And Spider-Man, because I do think part of it. It's been a while since I read this, but I remember part of it is Spider-Man's like going around snapping people out of it. There's also a thing with like Callisto, like she's the one who like worms in through the tunnel, kind of like Jimmy Woo does in WandaVision. It's a lot of people are doing a lot of things. It really is an event.
It's an event that's just marketed as an X-Men thing. So the other thing that we had established, I think this was actually in episode 2, so I don't remember if I had told you this, Nick. I think I went over it really quickly. Is if we have Groot, what is Rocket doing? And Amy had this idea, actually. We take the MCU origin of Star-Lord, where like Yondu comes to Earth to get him at the behest of someone. My camera is like lagging and freezing, and it's very annoying, and I don't know why it's doing that. But it's not that bad, so we're just gonna roll with it, I guess. Anyway, so Rocket takes Yondu's role, essentially. So we're someone, we can determine who later, later probably in this episode if this is gonna segue into the space one, but Rocket gets hired to get Peter Quill, comes to Earth to get him, but messes it up and crashes. So Rocket is just somewhere on Earth. And that is why Groot is here, is that Groot has come to Earth to find Rocket. But then joins the Avengers because he wants to be helpful and he can't find Rocket anyway.
Wait, I got something for you for what Rocket's up to then.
Okay.
This screams to me, Weapon X program.
Okay,
Have you heard of Wolverine?
I don't believe so.
Wolverine is allegedly Weapon 2 of the Weapon X program, but it's just a squirrel that they found that they wanted to test that has Wolverine claws. And it's just like a joke about Wolverine. But you just make Rocket Wolverine. So he just gets abducted by the government.
Yeah.
Or even like Winter Soldier, basically.
I have found
just like,
an image. I have found the... It's blurry.
the image.
But yeah, that's... Where is it? There we go.
You make him having been abducted by the government and getting tested on and turned into a little Rocket Wolverine. That is what I would say. Or you get rid of the Wolverine part and you just make it Winter Soldier. But I think you do one of those two.
Well,
things.
yeah, we already have Bucky in this. So yeah, sure. Rocket is... So Rocket's getting Wolverined. Okay, I'm gonna write this down in here as a sort of note. Reminder. Groot is on Earth.
See, Archie, the answer is
looking
yes.
For
the
Rocket.
Most super soldiers. But they made a squirrel.
Is in
so they can make
the
a rocket.
Weapon X program. So at this point, I guess are we gonna have Groot like leave NYC? What is up with my camera, man? Was it doing this during D&D, or is it something about this stream specifically that like breaks it? I don't know if I need to get a new camera. Oh well. So the question then, does Groot like leave NYC and go get Rocket? Like we have what is gonna sort of happen in this? Because Groot is our protagonist for this, but what else happens to give him some level of
maybe Weapon X sees the warp.
Okay.
The government sees the warp in New York. They need some agents to go in. Weapon X sends in
That
Rocket.
actually does make sense, because we have established that the like government superheroes is led by Norman Osborn, and Oscorp is in New York, so he's also affected. So they're like, shit, all of our guys are in this thing. We need other guys.
Oh my god, you have 80 people.
Yeah, this is going very well so far. I wish my camera would be good, but it's not doing that. Oh well.
Your camera looks fine on Skype.
Yeah, no, dude, it's super weird. Like it's just freezing. I literally see it flash. This is a tangent that I shouldn't go to on. Well, we're gonna have an ad break in a minute, but like, it's literally like flashing. Like I don't know if it's a bug with the camera or with the software, but whatever. I gotta watch.
I've not seen a flash.
It's no. Again, it's like the indicator light on my camera flashes, and when it flashes, there's like a brief frame drop on my stream. I don't think it's enough to like be disruptive at all. It's just bugging me specifically as the streamer. Because it'll literally be like, I'll be moving my hand and it'll like jump from one side of the screen to the other. It's super brief, whatever. Anyway. Someone asked our Fun Time Universes episode 1 through 3 on YouTube. They are. Okay, so who's in the Weapon X program? Weapon X is the... Actually, wait. Do we want to make Weapon X, like, also just, like, alien stuff, too? Like, make Weapon X aliens and mutants?
Sure.
Alright, cool. So, Weapon X is...
They did do symbiotes in the comics. That's Weapon 5.
Okay, cool. Weapon X is, we'll say, more alien-related. Gets called
also, it's Weapon Plus, Matthew.
What are we calling it?
Weapon X is Wolverine.
Okay, I get it. You mean Weapon... Okay, you mean Weapon Plus. I wish I could make that plus, like, bigger and nicer looking. Anyway, gets called in to deal with the warp because the Spectacular Six... Go watch previous episodes to figure out who exactly they are. The Spectacular Six is also in NYC. So, that's Rocket. Do we want to make it so, like Rocket doesn't, like, his memories are messed up? Do sort of like a Groot versus Rocket thing in that context, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love a Groot versus Rocket thing.
Groot versus...
My favorite kind of thing.
Alright, Groot versus Rocket thing. So, Groot is just running around NYC trying to fix things.
Or, well, we could also do... I don't know if this is what you meant by memory warp, but if we do something that's like, he's affected by the warp when he goes in, then he could also just not remember Groot.
That also could work. Also, yeah, so someone asked, I'm guessing the Spectacular Six is a spin on the Fantastic Four? No, they are Norman Osborn's Sinister Six as, like, a superhero team, basically.
Now, to be fair, the Sinister Six are a rip on the Fantastic Four, so...
They're called the Spectacular Six because Spectacular Spider-Man, but Sinister Six, that's why I call them that. But yeah, they are Norman Osborn's team.
It's fantastic. It makes sense. Don't worry, Matt. You don't have to defend
No,
yourself.
I was explaining it more than defending. But
Got it.
Groot is running around in NYC trying to fix things.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, basically. Rocket. I guess we should say like what is... This is actually important. What is the status of Rocket right now? Is he like...
Raccoon.
Thank you, Nikhil. Is he like mindless, like murder raccoon, or is he like tactical operative raccoon? Like
Mindless murder raccoon.
Then, though, the question becomes, why does Weapon Plus send in the mindless murder raccoon unless it's just go kill cosplay Gaff?
Yeah, no. Find the guy who needs to die and then kill him. Because in this universe, Rocket is the best there is at what he does.
Okay. Rocket gets sent in to kill Kulon
Gaff.
Kulon. I think it's funnier if I put in Kulon Imposter, like it's a nickname. Gaff. So Rocket gets sent in to kill Kulon Imposter Gaff. And then, yeah, like that's mostly what the thing is, okay, here's a question though. If we want to, so this is like the main thing that's going on is Groot is running around trying to like fix the warp and also like probably fix Rocket's memories, get Rocket set up. Do we want to do like a full-on, make this like an event and have other stories that are just like medieval versions of other things happening at the same time in New York City?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. How much do you want to spend on this versus you get into Cosmic?
Heck if I care. Whatever's fun. Nikhil, I called this episode 4, and I can call it whatever I want on YouTube after we're done. So, I don't care. Cool on Imposter Gath. Okay, I guess let's actually figure out. I lied. One thing first that we need to figure out is what is the resolution to this? Is how do they fix it?
I was gonna say, I think we need a way, because in the comic, if I can remember, there's somehow Spider-Man's going around jogging people's minds. Mm-hmm. So he's getting them back. And I think we need a way for Groot to do a similar thing. That he's going around helping restore people.
Okay, wait, that actually makes some level of sense. Is Groot is trying to restore people. Isn't very good at that. But once Groot... Oh, wait, this is actually really cool. Because Rocket's like a tech mechanic type guy, right? Groot manages to find Rocket. They fight, but then Groot fixes Rocket's memories. Rocket with restored memory basically like takes his weapon plus tech that messed with his brain and then makes like a helmet or something out of his stuff that they can stick on people and it fixes their minds from the warp. Does that make... Okay.
Love it.
Perfect.
Love it. Someone has mentioned that if we're doing Rocket is an alien, or Groot is an alien and therefore not affected because he's a tree, that this universe has Devil Dinosaur in it.
I would say... I wasn't saying Groot being not affected because he's like an alien. It's because he's a plant. Like, I think...
So what are we doing with Dinosaur? Is he just like a monster?
Or? We could totally... I mean, like... I think it would affect... I mean, we can do whatever we want. I think it's reasonable that it would affect Devil's Dinosaur. I think we could also make it so that it doesn't affect Devil. It could be either one. I think both of them make logical enough sense. I think it should affect Devil.
I think the only one that shouldn't be affected.
Okay.
Is
Groot Holmes. So let me write this down. So Rocket uses the weapon plus brain tech to make something to fix the others. And that is... Okay, cool. And that's how that gets fixed. And now we've introduced cosmic stuff that we can deal with in a bit. So, now we get to decide... I guess I'll call it, like, other event arcs. Do we want to do, like any sort of... You know, this is really just for fun, not main plot stuff, but, like, one-shots, mini-series, things that would be happening, like, in this period. If we have any fun ideas. We don't have to do anything with that.
We can.
Yeah.
Also, the reason that I maybe want to work this to another event arc, but the reason that I assumed that we should do the Cool and Gath one is because we'd set up Celine as the bridge to magic. And I don't know if we want Celine to play a role in this either.
Oh, you're right. We can definitely have Celine. I forgot that we set up Celine as something. Because Celine's whole thing was Celine was trying to orchestrate murders because she wanted to use that energy to find the Death Stone. Yeah, which we have a Death Stone, by the way, if you're new. So then does she manipulate events to... Okay, how do I phrase this? Does she manipulate events to start the Cool on Gath thing? I think no. I think it's funnier if Cool on Gath is just a guy.
I think this is just an accident.
So then we can have one of like a mini series. We can have a mini series that's like, I'm trying to think of a cooler sounding title of like Medieval X-Men, where Celine is actually, that would be really funny. And I think in character for Celine, if Celine is unaffected and our X-Men team does get sort of time warped, Celine thinks that's funny and sets up a plot just to mess with them because it's entertaining.
I love it.
So it's yeah, okay. It's like very low stakes actually because it's just that. All right, Starships and Dragons, thank you for the sub. So what do we want to call this then? Let me think of... Okay. Surely there aren't going to be, like, synonyms for medieval. I feel like that's too niche of a word to have a lot of good synonyms.
Well, it's not medieval even, though, right? It's
Conan, which is, like, barbarian times.
Yeah, it's older. It's the Hyborian age.
Oh yeah, so we're legally allowed to use that.
The Hyborian age is a made-up age for Conan stories. It is a mystical age that takes place between the fall of Atlantis and before the rise of written history. That's fun.
So like, what would that correlate to in real world history?
Seeing as the first benchmark is fall of Atlantis and the second benchmark is rise of written history.
I don't mean in time, I mean in vibes, if that makes sense. Barbaric X-Men is decent. Also, someone says, what if they're called Excalibur? I feel like Excalibur needs to be a different thing, because I want Excalibur, if we even do that, to be just as batshit weird as Excalibur originally was.
Yeah.
Dude, I was reading through some, like, 80s Excalibur stuff. My god.
It's truly crazy.
It's
That's what keeps impressive on people is like, it's like a multiverse thing. People just don't know.
It's just its own little multiverse arc with a bunch of characters from X-Men and some others, and it's just weirdly horny.
Oh, it's so horny.
The best way, I'm so sorry to say this for anyone in chat who doesn't know, but the best way I can describe 80s Excalibur is trippy, horny multiverse X-Men. And if that's something that intrigues you, get out of here.
Hey.
Okay.
I like Ye Old X.
Ye Old X is kind of funny. I want to see if... Okay, I'm looking up synonyms for barbaric. I feel like that's maybe...
I mean, you could just do, like...
uncivilized X-Men.
Barbarics. I feel that's...
Oh, wait, that does kind of work. Let me Google that. Let me see if that's a thing. I mean, we can use it if it is, but, like... If you Google barbaric spelled like that, the first... The first result is an EDM producer from the UK who's signed to a company called Meth Lab Recordings, so I think we're probably good to use that.
Nice.
Alright, cool. So this is our Warped X team that's just like Celine is just manipulating them into stuff that she thinks is funny. So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. What other, what could they fight for this little mini-series, though? Because, like, they can't fight Celine. Celine has to be, like, the mastermind or, to use D&D terms, like a sort of quest-giver NPC, almost.
This could be Devil. We can make Devil a dragon. It's just a...
We could make Devil a dragon, but that also makes
dragon.
it a little too Civil War-y since he's an Avenger, technically. I
mean, with it, like... He's a dinosaur. He could just be a dragon.
I do.
And then they go to kill the dragon, and then they realize that they don't need to kill the dragon for any reason, and then Celine's there.
That would work.
Like, I don't think it gets Civil War-y at all.
I do also think it would be very funny if we introduce another new character, like not new, a Marvel character that shows up as like a medieval version, and then like is just an X-Men villain from there. Like this is where we put in like medieval Juggernaut, and then Juggernaut's just there, and it's just like by pure coincidence he got his powers like right before. Probably not Juggernaut because he's weirdly tied into our Infinity Stones, but let's see. This is another good point though. We should do like a Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur How to Train Your Dragon type bit, which would be good, but I don't think we want to have Devil be the villain of that and a protagonist. What X-Men villain would be fun to just introduce as medieval randomly?
Sinister?
That is... Nikhil, I just got a great idea. Sinister, medieval version of Sinister is the villain for this miniseries. He also fully knows what's going on, is in cahoots with Celine, and is just playing the part because he also thinks it's funny.
Sure.
I think that's fantastic, yes. Okay. So we have, evil...
Wait, hold on. Archie made a what I like much more, actually. Which is that it's arcade, and it's just medieval murder world.
Oh, we could make that a vigilante thing. Yeah, for sure. That would be okay. Okay, that's cool. So Celine and Mr. Sinister, who just shows up here, and we can give his origin later, are just screwing with the X-Men. That's all it is. Screwing with...
Or you could make this Sinister's origin. Like, Sinister could just be a scientist, and he gets involved with Celine in this war. And then when it gets back to the life after,
and that,
it's just like, this was
that
life.
also explains, like, why he is what he is. That actually is really funny, because Sinister's like a super old geneticist dude, and in the main comics, yeah, and then he's not actually super old. He's just like, this is funny, I like this. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good.
I think that's much better. Is that this is just, and afterward, that's also where he's like, so, like, acts like so flamboyant.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, I came in and this is what villains do, and it seemed lit, so I'll just keep doing that.
All right, cool.
No,
okay.
And Celine's like, this was fake, and he's like, no.
Sinister's origin. He meets Celine through. That's actually another good point, because Celine has the Life Stone at this point. So if we want to do the thing where, like, he's gifted mutant powers by somebody, because it's Apocalypse originally, right? We can just have Celine do it, and then he just makes his powers from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Apocalypse gives him mutant powers.
I think it is. Let me look.
No, he makes him like an apostle or something. But I don't think he gives him power, because Sinister takes his powers from Courier, and then he takes his power from Thunderbird. But those are both just genetic splicing.
Let me see.
I don't feel like the apostle thing is mutant powers. It's just like apocalypseness.
Yeah, I know he Oh, you're right. He got just different powers from Apocalypse. Either way, that doesn't change our planning here. So Sinister's origin, he's still a genetics guy. We have plenty of those in this universe. Guy, but gets powers from Celine in this event. Whoops.
Technically, people in the KGT think that they're from medieval times, but we're focusing on people who are not affected.
Just stays... just keeps this vibe going. Just keeps this vibe going because he thinks it's fun.
I love the idea of Celine just being like, dude, this was a bit. I used you as a pawn. You don't have to act like this. And he's like,
no, this is great, actually. Okay, that's amazing. Okay. What do we call our dragon training moon girl and devil dinosaur? Devil dinosaur is easy. We can make it like devil. You can just make a devil dragon or something else. But I'm just gonna write this down. This is one thing I want to do. Maybe like depending on how long this takes or like space takes. I can pitch my sort of plan for this series to Nikhil actually now. I'm thinking space today, Spider-Man next week in his little sphere, and then I think the episode after that is like we go back through what we've already done and like try to like align things, and then we can move forward from there. So Moon Girl and Devil Dragon, and then what was the one that Arcade. So who do we want to put up against Arcade?
Who do we have? We have
a bunch. We do have the Spectacular Six. They can get stuff if we want. Like one of them can have things. We have Wasp. We have Doc Ock. We have Danny Rand, Iron Man. Sentry is not really on the table. Groot is not on the table for this. We have Bucky Barnes, Nomad. We have a bunch of various mutants.
I think doing another mutant book would be a little silly.
I mean, this is kind of like the mutant event, though, because the mainline series is less mutants; it's Groot.
That's true.
Oh, it could be Leech, because Leech isn't technically part of the X-Men in this, or like one of Leech's group, one of the Morlocks.
Sure.
So which Morlock do we want?
Oh yeah, let me look at that crazy list.
Yeah, we have a wild list up here. I do think it would be like, I don't actually think we should do this, but it would be incredibly funny. Huh?
No. Not the Morlocks. Make it the League of Sexy X-Men.
What the Brotherhood of Sexy Mutants was, I believe, the technical term.
Yes.
I don't think I ever actually wrote that down. Okay, so who from? Because I don't think it should be another team thing, because we already do have the team. I think it should be one of them, solo book versus arcade. Can't be Quentin Quire. A Quentin Quire versus arcade book would be insufferable to read.
Stacy X.
Stacy X versus arcade.
I don't know. Does Stacy X have any abilities?
I don't actually know what she does other than what her vibe is. I think we're both looking her up on the wiki right now. I hear you typing.
I know she's like a bit of a revolutionary, but I don't know if she has literally any actual powers.
Sensitive to pheromones.
She secretes pheromones on skin-to-skin contact, allowing her to stimulate body functions in order. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. She's just pheromone character, which I don't think that would be really fun against arcade, because she wouldn't be able to do anything, which
yeah.
That would be... Here's the thing. She wouldn't be able to do anything, which I think would be fun with a character that's more established. But I don't think we can take, like, a character from this villain team and just throw them into that. I don't think that's interesting.
We could do Dazzler. This could be the beginning of Dazzler's redemption arc.
Yeah, I think you can do some stuff with that.
I think I'd beat a normal Dazzler in arcade book. I'm sure this happened.
Dazzler versus arcade would be an interesting thing, because I feel like there's a lot of weird power dynamics you can get in there with like the traps make noise probably, so she can use that as okay, cool.
Plus, he loves a trap that like specifically stops your power, and Stacy X doesn't have a power you can do that with, really.
Yeah, just the nature of it being a trap stops Stacy X's power, but also with Dazzler that works with like soundproof room. So it's like, what's Dazzler's real name? I don't even know it. Allison Blair. Because I feel like if we're doing medieval times, or not actually medieval, Hyborian, whatever it is, it's a made up era. They just put in stuff from everywhere. If we have Dazzler as part of the Brotherhood of Sexy Mutants, someone said Bard Dazzler. That is true, but I also feel like she has to just straight up be a princess. I feel like she has to be, by nature of what Dazzler is as a character. Is that, I mean...
I think she's a bard.
Can be both. What do we think? What does chat think? I'm open to either.
Dazzler used to like sneak out and perform at honky tonk bars while she was at X-Men. I think she'd be happy to be a bard.
Alright, bard works. We can definitely come up with a better name for this, but Bard, Dazzler versus Arcade. That's 3 little mini-series. I think that's good for this. Again, if we come up with more in like 10 minutes, we can...
no, buddy, this is an X-Men event. You gotta do at least 12.
That's a good point. Alright, fine. Another one. What's Leech?
I'm joking.
No, you opened this rabbit hole. What's Leech doing?
We're doing a Leech book?
We already did one. I thought you...
I left Leech alone in his tunnels. He's fine. He didn't even make it to the main X-Men team.
I thought... Okay, fine. No Leech book then. Okay. So, if we don't want to do 12 X-Men tie-ins, now I think we go into year 4 with space, right?
Sure.
And, like, so this is going to be, like, aftermath stuff. So, aftermath of this, right? Big aftermath of this is that Groot is an alien, right?
Wait, go back and just add, write literally the words Gambit, King of Thieves. And then that's enough for all these people.
Wait, oh, in this?
Yeah, like as another series. There you go.
Gambit.
Y'all got it.
King of... I have spelled every single word in this wrong. Thieves. There we go. Groot is revealed as an alien. Rocket is also an alien. So there are definitely aliens. It's not just a one-time thing. There's two. There's a whole thing. There's a whole thing.
If A, then B. If B, then C. If then A is C.
Someone said, am I stupid or are there only 5 guys on the Spectacular 6? Technically, when I was making the list, I don't think I actually put Norman on this. So it's
didn't.
Yeah, Norman has his own bullet point, and then it's like, here's the rest of them. So I see where the format... This is not formatted very well, and I do need to go back and improve it, but this is literally just, like, mostly mine, and also now Nikhil's notes, like, thrown at the wall. My camera is lagging. I'm going to hope that is going to... Oh, it's probably because I was scrolling up and down too much. Okay. So, Groot's revealed as an alien. Rocket is also an alien, so there's definitely aliens. I guess, like, Sinister is a new villain. Dazzler, redemption arc. Those are, like, the 3 big aftermath things for here. So, where do we want to go? Well,
I think we should set up something in the main arc that involves why Cosmic would be a new thing that they're dealing with.
Yeah. I know we set up... Because it is worth noting, there is at least 1 Infinity Stone on Earth. We should recap this for anyone who's new. The
person talking meant that we got rid of Mysterio because he was Loki. And no one replaced him.
Oh yeah, you're right. We didn't. Okay, one thing that we haven't done yet that we need to go back and do is like, what I've been thinking of this as is like we get all the spheres kind of set up, and once we have like all the main spheres of Marvel, which we really just need Space and Spider-Man. Like those are the 2 major spheres that we haven't touched. Then we can go back and like extend them, but I want to get every sphere at least decently established before we extend stuff, because once they're all established, then they can start intertwining with each other. Does that make sense? And Nikhil, if you think if you want to go back and add something, I think that's fine.
No, I think it's an amazing program you got going here.
Okay, cool. So, for note, since this is the episode where this is going to start mattering, also my camera is just not having a good day, but we're going to have to deal with that. We have 8 Infinity Stones instead of 6, and just for fun and vibes, we have tied them to the Octessence. They are basically the same, except we have split the Life and Death Stone into the we split the Soul Stone into the Life and Death Stone, and we split the Reality Stone into the Matter Stone and the Void Stone. So they're in 8 pairs now. That's notable. It's 8 sort of opposing pairs of stones. The Life Stone is on Earth. We've established this. That's something that matters. Presumably, the Death Stone is also on Earth, because Selene is looking for it, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to have a thing where the 4 pairs of stones... I actually like this a lot. The 4 pairs of stones have been put on 4 planets. We can figure out where the other ones are later. But Earth, at some point in the past, was chosen as like the sort of hiding place for the Life Stone and the Death Stone. And whoever put them there, presumably the Octessence, those planets somehow are either like hidden or blacklisted from the rest of the galaxy. Does that make sense? Sure. I don't know how exactly that would work, but like...
how does that affect Groot coming to go pick up?
Because I think that's why Rocket goes, is because Rocket either finds... It's like super dangerous and people are not supposed to go to Earth. There's some like reason or organizing body that prevents people from going to Earth. And Rocket is like, screw that, I'm getting incredibly well paid to go pick up Peter Quill. I'm going to go anyway. And Groot knows that, and because Groot and Rocket are friends, so Groot can follow him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's not so much they're hidden as just people don't go there.
Someone asked pairs are together. I actually love this. The opposing pairs are on the same planet because their energy cancels them out and makes them hard to detect. And when Selene and Loki start screwing around with the Life Stone, but not the Death Stone, it imbalances the energy and makes them detectable. Does that work? I think it's cool. All right. So
I gotta say, Matt, I really love that you worked in 8 contrasting pairs of cosmic.
It was kind of coincidental, but it worked out really nicely. It was kind of because all we did was just split up 2 of them into ones that were, because like the Infinity Stones like almost do that, because they do time and space, and they do power and mind, which can kind of be contrasted. What the thing of the Power Stone is varies a lot, but that kind of works. And then it's like soul and reality, which you could make an argument that those are opposites, but that's not what they're characterized as, so it just makes sense. Okay, so I think amazingly, this is actually where we get to put the Infinity Stone. We get to make this not awkwardly at the bottom of the document anymore. Amazing. Infinity Stone rules get to be established now. And yes, I will organize this table a little bit better. Just for the sake of this being nice. There we go. Infinity Stone rules. Alright. Actually, these are... No, they're not organized.
Which is the other stone you split?
I split soul and reality. Okay, let me just move these to where they're supposed to go. This will take a second, and then I'll type in like those rules that we have set up.
It's not so much a gauntlet anymore as it is like 2 stylish driving gloves.
Okay.
That's
the Infinity gloves.
The Infinity driving gloves. That's what they are.
That's right. Okay, swap these 2. I'm gonna get rid of this middle column too. We don't really need this middle column. Yeah, I don't know what the gauntlet would actually be. Whoops. But we can figure that out in a second. So octessence, and then stone. What? Just stone. There we go. Now we have an Infinity Stone document that actually makes sense. Infinity Stone rules. So, the octessence, I guess, because that makes logical sense. The octessence hid the stones on 4 different planets.
Okay, yeah, they did. Oh, so wait, this could be
opposing pairs.
Wait, this could actually be the thing that connects this event to all this. Is if somehow the Life and Death Stone, I don't know, interact or something.
That could work.
And then that's.
Hold on, let me type this stuff here. The opposing energies, cancel out their signatures and make them hard to find. So I guess the thing that we would need to establish really quick now before we move on. Why is it year 4? Because it's Avengers and Startup, Magic, Mutants, and then this. And Magic and Mutants could probably be happening in the same time.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the episodes were deciding.
I mean, it's really arbitrary. It's very arbitrary. I can go and fix that later. So, okay, one thing I think we should determine before we determine what sort of breaks this, what keeps people from going to the planets? It could just be
just bad vibes.
Just bad vibes.
They see a planet like, not that one. That one's got bad vibes.
No.
I think it should be bad vibes.
Space and void seem like a more fitting dichotomy. The void stone is the fancy term for like the non-existent stone. So it's like that's the more esoteric one. Like, you know how soul is like the weird esoteric one that doesn't make sense? Ours is the void stone. I think space and time are the more classic pairing for sure. Cordoned off by Octessence acolytes. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Yeah, that's probably fine. There's just some like Church of Universal Truth keeps people out or something. I'll just type that in. We can change it later.
I liked what you said earlier. Like it's kind of bad vibes, but like for serious, like when you were just like if they just like it considered dangerous to go there. You don't have to have like like it's just an old legend. Like, just don't go.
That is fair. Because of, I guess because of weird magic and rumors intentionally spread by the, or I guess I'll say legends that the Octessence intentionally spread. Intentionally spread. One thing that I really like about how we're setting this up is we are fully setting up Juggernaut sort of unintentionally to be an alien guy, which I like. I think Space Juggernaut is actually cool as hell, so we will get there today. Spread. These planets are seen as super dangerous and most people don't go there. Okay, so that locks them off. That explains why Rocket goes there, because Peter Quill's dad, who we will determine... I guess actually we can go and determine that, who that is now or in a minute, but Peter Quill's parent doesn't hires Rocket to go get his kid, and Rocket is the only one who'll do it because Rocket's crazy and is like, oh, sure, I'll go. Messes up, crashes, gets captured by Weapon X. Groot follows Rocket to get him. Sweet. Easy. Okay. I want to put... Someone says, please tell me Cyclops' eye beams are from Sidorak's dimension. I don't think it's... and Nikhil can correct me on this. I don't think it's ever officially said, but it also makes a lot of sense that it would be.
One of the things that bugs me the most is that, like, of all of the strange amount of characters in X-Men that have kinetic energy-based powers, I'm pretty sure only Juggernaut has a connection to the god of kinetic energy.
Because
everybody else is just like, well, I guess that's what they do.
As quick background for those who don't know what we're talking about, Juggernaut gets his powers from this god named Sidorak, who's like a god of movement and energy and also destruction sometimes. And he has a whole dimension that the name of which escapes me at the moment, but he has this whole like red dimension of kinetic energy and stuff. And Cyclops, his mutation, is not just laser eyes, it is canonically that his eyes are portals to another dimension that is full of kinetic energy, and that dimension is also red.
I've heard this is actually contested, that the canonicity of that statement is
it?
Not 100%.
Okay, I'm not sure about that.
Because some people get very upset when you bring it up, but I die on the...
Look that up, because I'm curious. But yeah, basically, if that is true, which I guess Nikhil is confirming, like, it would be weird if there were just coincidentally two separate dimensions full of red kinetic energy, but it has never actually been confirmed that Cyclops' powers are drawn from Sidorak's realm. The Crimson Cosmos, yeah. It's never actually been confirmed that Cyclops' powers are drawn from the Crimson Cosmos, but, like, it makes very much sense. It's from a handbook, apparently. Oh, is it from a handbook?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like in the comics they explain it different ways because it used to be like solar powered and shit. And then
interesting.
The handbook, not even all the handbooks.
Interesting.
List the punch dimension, but the punch dimension is the funniest, so we should keep it.
Interesting. Wouldn't Sidorak and Krakan oppose each other more than Sidorak and Ragnarok? These are loose descriptions that I've given. I can actually, since we've modified this, I'm actually going to get rid of the little thing. This is artifact stuff when we were making the Infinity Stone system. We don't really need this exact thing anymore. Okay, this makes a lot of sense for how aliens get to Earth. The question then is like, why? And I guess, yeah, all of the messing around with the Infinity Stones, which has been a well-established thing so far, that has messed up the balance of the stones that keeps them hidden, and so now the Infinity Stones are detectable by aliens, and that becomes sort of the open season on Earth type thing. So then, I think a question that we need to address, because we have a billion options here, is what aliens do we want to be major in this universe? Because the major ones in the Marvel Universe are like Skrulls, Kree, symbiotes, Shi'ar. Like, those are the 4 species that matter the most, and they're individuals from others. Do
you know why the Shi'ar exist?
I don't think so. Not like. Do you mean in universe or like publication wise?
Publication.
Then definitely not.
It's because they didn't want Claremont to fuck up the Kree and the Skrull. He told them that he wanted to do space stuff, and they were like, "You can't fuck the Kree and the Skrulls for us." So he had to make up the Shi'ar.
I would not trust Claremont anywhere near Skrulls. Not because Claremont is bad, but because, as we established earlier in this episode, Claremont is horny. And I don't want him to get his hands on the species full of shapeshifters. I've read Excalibur. I know what he would do with that.
Well, it's just also, it's like, he's just too lore heavy, I think. They're like, if you do it, we're going to be stuck with whatever you do. Stop.
Yeah. Oh, also, someone is saying symbiotes will be Spider. When I was going through that list, that's what I was saying is major in the established Marvel Universe, not ours. So I was like, do we want to do something different? Oh, and I guess the Chitauri are, like, almost important.
The Chitauri are only because of the movie.
Well, yeah, and then they became important in the comics only as minions like the movies.
I loved in Endgame when Rocket was just like, the Chitauri are the fucking starter class alien invasion.
It is really funny. Okay, let's see. Hold on, I kind of want to... races of aliens. Perfect. Do we want to... Let's just find some fun options here. God, there's so many. Ooh, can we have the Flibbledibby? How do we feel about putting in the Flibbledibby from Fantastic Four 221?
What?
Are you looking...
Why are you saying this to me like I know?
Are you looking on the stream? Look, it's the name was not on screen when I said it because I messed up the framing. But apparently we could do the Flibbledibby. We could do the Flibbledibby if we wanted to do that. This list is going to take forever to look through. We're not going to go through all of these for obvious reasons. Honkai.
Just click a random
Honkai Impact.
And then...
pick a random...
Oh, the Ubagonians.
Man, it says so much about Marvel Aliens that when you say, oh, and then a name, I genuinely cannot tell if you're being genuine or sarcastic.
No, man, the Ubagonians. We got to do the Ubagonians.
Okay, let me pull the... That's not even on here! You liar!
It is. Go to O.
Oh, to O. I was on U. Okay. Oh, yeah, the Ubagonians.
Yeah.
Ah. Maybe. Wait.
Oh, maybe not, actually.
Yeah, maybe not.
I just saw
you didn't click on the... You didn't click on the article?
I just saw the silly name. I don't know.
I don't even understand... What... Yeah, let's maybe...
No, these seem racist.
Yeah. Nikhil, did you see the picture with the bone through the nose and everything?
I saw.
You saw the name and you were wrong. We could do. We could do the ovoids.
I was gonna. These racist? I don't
the egg boys. Okay. I will say I don't want to just pull some random stupid one out of a hat. I feel like it has to be one that's.
Oh, but look at this! If you look at the ovoids, one of the first thing that shows up is that they have a connection to Rocket.
Or we could use the Herms. They were beings who have been called power incarnate.
Wait, Matthew, stop. No, hold on. Hold the fucking phone. I'll tell you which alien we need to use. I'll tell you what fucking alien race we need to use.
Also, someone says make Groot's race a major player, remove the vocab restriction. We have a whole recurring joke based on the vocab restriction.
Wait, I got you. Ready? We gotta do the swords. We gotta do the swords. That's what we gotta do. These guys aren't racist.
The swords. I've already.
SAURIDS.
Why'd I even bother looking? I could have guessed. You know what, Nikhil? You've done this to yourself. I want to go refill my water. You tell everyone in chat about you spread the gospel of Chod. I'm gonna
wait. Actually, I do need a break as well.
Okay, all right, sure. If we both do, we'll just go to a break now, and then we will return in a couple minutes, and Nikhil can explain his favorite boy. Funny enough, we've gotten back to Chris Claremont, and we'll explain why this is surely a great idea in a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hey, no, I don't think I turned it back on in time to catch Nikhil's grand confession.
What are you?
Nothing was confessed. Yeah, sure, bud.
It was that Chod fucking rocks.
Sure. Anyway, Nikhil, why don't you go and tell everybody why you like Chod so much?
This is my favorite guy. He's a big fish man. He was erroneously referred to as Abomination by Matt, but in actuality,
this looks like Abomination. I'm just gonna do a quick interlude. No one can tell me I'm wrong. This looks like Abomination. He's just got different pants.
He looks like a Saurid. Let's be fully clear here. He looks like a Saurid. Anyway, it's like a beast thing, but better. He's a very nice, genteel guy. He's got a little pet. Apparently, the pet is wanted for like not paying alimony or something. So that's interesting. But he's Chod.
Thanks for that. Very helpful.
He's the best Starjammer. Okay, here, I'll call the Starjammers for you. Ready? There's Chod. Then there's Corsair. Then there's Corsair's skunk wife, Hepzibah. And then there's Raza, who's like a space pirate with a ponytail and half a face. And then there's Tech Guy. That's not even a real guy. Those are the Starjammers. Oh, and then there's Carol Danvers, because I forgot
Space Abomination, Cyclops Dad. I think Skunk Wife can stay. That was a nickname that is acceptable. Chod was a recent Build-A-Figure. I think actually that's where the bit started, is because I remember I was talking to Nikhil about the Build-A-Figures, and he was like, is that Chod?
Oh, yes, and you wouldn't. And I was excited that there was a Chod big fig, and he was like, but the best one's this fucking horse.
That's so funny, though.
And I was like, no, the best one's Chod. And then I genuinely, this is true, because Matt is a good friend of mine, and I appreciate his content. I like when Matt makes videos about characters I know. And I noticed there was no Chod video. And so he should make a Chod video and share the gospel of Chod with the world so that they gather a new audience. Every time Matt makes a new video, everyone talks to me about that character the next week. But he refused for some reason. I'm still not.
I don't even think I would. I think that was just during the time when I wasn't posting. I think it was probably just that, because I didn't post for like 2 months. It wasn't that far, but there was like a month and a half where I like barely posted at all because I was trying to find a more stable job, and then I realized that doesn't happen for recent college graduates in 2023, and so then I went back to posting, and now this is my job.
This is a really weird tangent, but I'm in such a weird position, I feel like, because I made the conscious choice to give up content creation, to go do like a real job that I was interested in. And then I got laid off that job. So now I'm here and I'm like, am I going to do content creation until the strike ends? Like, how seriously could I be taking this? I don't know.
Dude,
I don't want to burn it all down again.
It's a whole thing, man. Sometimes I make money and I pay my bills, and that's all that I really care about.
I don't know how you pay your bills. I've made $300 goddamn dollars.
Are you on? Okay, this is a separate discussion, but we'll get back to this stuff in a second. Also, thank you for the Prime sub. Oust the Gloust. Are you on the creativity program beta thing? How have you only made $300 then?
I don't know. Everyone's always like, oh my god, I make so much money.
Dude, my second account paid my rent this month.
Are you fucking for real?
To be fair, the second account's doing better than my main account, but yeah, like the Ben 10 videos that I posted, they paid like 2/3 of my bills, that alone. I don't know how.
$350.
And it's not like consistent, but like.
It's just because like they do that thing where it's like, oh, this video got a. First of all, my videos don't do that well, I admit. But also, like, it'll be like, oh, your video got 30,000 views, only 17K of that counted. So here's $17. But also, I make an average of like 6K, or I make an average of $6 a video at the best.
Another really stupid thing that TikTok does is your rate per like 1,000 views is variable, and it will change like on the daily. So, like, if you're not doing consistently good, they will drop. TikTok sucks. TikTok absolutely sucks. I need to get a personal Patreon going. You should probably do the same. But yeah, it's bad. Anyway, back to fun stuff. I've just decided I do want the Majdanians to be important because, hell yeah, Runaways.
Who are they?
Carolina from the Runaways is basically the only one that matters. Carolina, and then ones that are related to Carolina, but they're glowy people. They're glowy people.
I mean, I guess. So we could have like the Swords or like the number one important race.
Or we could have the Majdanians be number one and then the Swords at 7. You know.
That's a little lower, you know? But like the Swords are like the Swords should be like the Kree.
Also, yeah, people are the D and Dorks Patreon is split between the cast, so it does help support us, but also like it's split between a bunch of different people, so it's not like income, like that's not my main income. That is a nice extra thing. But yeah, if I do a personal Patreon, I have no idea what I'd put on there, but that would help me directly. Also, someone else says do the poisons instead of the symbiotes. The symbiotes are going to matter, but they matter later because I want to tie them more into like other stuff rather than space stuff because I have a plan for them. But, so, okay. You know what would be really funny, actually? You know what would be really funny if we want to establish like different space stuff in this universe? The Kree-Skrull War just turned out bad. And both of the species just had really bad results from the Kree-Skrull War and took like huge losses, and now neither of them are like superpowers anymore, like they used to be, and now they're just not. Okay, that's cool. The Kree-Skrull War was very bad. All right, sweet. Let me do like a sort of space status page as well because that's a section. Space status.
Also, apparently, the gravity on Chad's home world is 200% that of Earth, which means this is a bouncy boy when he comes to Earth.
Well, it's just super strength. That doesn't mean he's bouncy.
No, it does. On Earth, it's half his gravity. That's what it's like for us on the moon. I'm right.
You are. Wait, hold on. This is a tangent, but okay. I don't think so, but I'm also not a physicist. He would be stronger, but he would not bounce and float.
I'm pretty sure he's made for a certain pressure, and if you have that pressure, he's going to be like us on the moon. Like, not in comics.
Yeah, not in comics.
Fine, but like in real life, I think that if you go from if you cut your gravity in half, that's what's going to happen.
Well, the thing, people don't bounce on the moon because the moon's gravity is half of Earth's. People bounce on the moon because the gravity of the moon is low. It's not a changing thing, it's just that the gravity is low.
But like imagine you were born on the moon and you lived on the moon. Okay. And for some reason you were wired.
But that's the thing, is you would still bounce.
Walk on the moon.
Or you would be super dense.
That's what I'm saying, but we don't know that.
Yes, we do. No.
No one's ever.
People don't bounce.
No one's ever evolved on the moon.
People don't bounce on the moon because their body density is suited to that. People bounce on the moon because the moon just has less gravity.
I'm saying, look, Matt.
Call Hank Green. Someone in chat, call Hank Green right now.
Matt. Gravity is pulling a certain amount of force on you, right?
Yes.
And then imagine if that force is suddenly cut in half, you would float. That is just not like zero gravity, but like if you
okay.
to be used to
I'm sorry, I am not I think I like to think I know probably more about science than the average person. I'm not at this point. He would move. Yes, he would move with more power. Okay, no. Someone's saying he's saying Superman leaping in a single bound type deal. No. He's saying like when you see clips of people on the moon, they're like floaty and bouncy. That would not happen.
Yeah. However, the Superman logic is also my logic.
Yes, but it is the Superman logic. Okay, we're figuring this out before we do anything else with the actual topic of the stream. He would not float.
This is why I have confidently incorrect on my report.
Yeah, okay, you know what? Someone's asked this before. Would someone born on the moon float on Earth? Google, answer this.
No, not on Earth. On another thing that would then be half.
Well, yeah, but you want me to Google, would someone born on, like, a planet with... This is for the sake of... Okay. No, this is talking about height. Thank you to this article, which is called "Is There Gravity on the Moon?" Yes, I do think so. Because it's also like atmosphere density.
Okay, hold on. This says that if Earth's gravity was only half as strong as it is now, you could jump higher.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be nearly as high as on the moon.
Yes.
Where gravity is 6 times weaker than Earth. But you could jump twice as high.
You could jump twice as high, but you wouldn't... There's a difference between jumping high and floating. The floating has to do with atmosphere as well.
Okay, well, I think that I was using the term floating more liberally.
Okay, if you're just saying jumping higher, yes, 100%. Yeah, I thought you meant like literally being like bouncy and float. Yeah, if it's just jumping higher, then yes. But you would not be like floating.
I want to point out, my first word was bouncy boy. Floating was attributed to me.
I feel like bouncy and jump... Whatever, we need to move on past this. Okay, so... Kree-Skrull War still happened. I mean, but was worse for both sides. Hence, the Kree and Skrulls still exist in this world. I'll just say still exist, but are less superpowers. That's fine. So that lets other aliens sort of take over, and out of an abundance of kindness to my good friend Nikhil Clayton, where's my bullet point thing?
Sorry.
Hold on. I have to format this so weirdly. Out of an abundance of kindness, we will put in... Saurid? Is that what it was? I'm already off the page.
Saurid.
Okay.
Saurids.
Magisdanians, because cool.
From the planet Taurin that has 200% gravity of Earth. Facts I'll know forever.
Does this mean Hulkling won't be king of space? Not at the beginning, at least, but yeah, like if we want Hulk, like...
Or Hulkling, instead of being half Skrull, his green half could be a Saurid.
And then he can't shapeshift because of that.
We can get a different blue half, it's fine.
Saurids, Magisdanians. We can come up with other fungi from Yuggoth. Okay, cool. What do we want? I think this is an interesting question then. We can come up with other aliens later. Who do we want Quill's dad to be? Do we want it to... Because, you know, we can do whatever the heck we want. The movies did whatever. Do we want it to be Space Jason?
No. No, not Jason.
Space Jason, please. I don't like calling him Jason. I think Space Jason is funnier. Quill's dad is Thanos. That's a hell of a concept.
Quill's dad is Juggernaut.
Okay, that's an interesting question. Do we want Juggernaut to be like a thing established, or do we want Juggernaut to be like a space character? I think Juggernaut should be like a new guy and he gets his own solo series, because I think that would be fun.
I don't see how in the system you've set up that he's not established. Like you have the Testament matter this much. He's an avatar.
It could.
Or you say he just isn't?
No, it could be a new avatar. It could be an established. I just think, like, I really like the idea of Juggernaut as a space guy because it can be what the Donny Cates Hulk series promised it was going to be and then wasn't that, where it's just like Hulk is a spaceship because Hulk is so durable. I like the idea of Juggernaut just being his own spaceship going around and doing things. I think that's very funny.
Have you didn't finish Sinister, did you?
No, I know they shoot. I know they shoot him into space.
No, yeah, they shoot him at the beginning, and then at the end, it's revealed that Destiny set that up because Juggernaut's just been flying through space for like 1,000 years, and is just now known in the universe as the Juggernaut bullet and crashing through space. And then he crashes at a direct moment that they want to crash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that, but like more take that concept and make it more controlled. Like make that a series plot. Hulk is a spaceship. Not really. The Donny Cates Hulk series was gonna do this thing. It set up itself to do this thing where like Banner was conscious within Hulk's mind and basically like. This sounds really weird to explain. Banner was piloting Hulk's body. And I don't mean that in a sense of like he was in control. He was literally like in this like mindscape piloting Hulk's body like a pilot from the inside, which is an interesting concept. And they're like, oh yeah, he's using Hulk as a vehicle, essentially. And then they kind of just like didn't keep that going. Let's see. Make Juggernaut Shi'ar. Make the whole Marco Xavier family Shi'ar.
I was going to say, if we're doing the Kree Skull didn't work out, genuinely, a way to use the Saurians is because they're like a race that's like enslaved by the Shi'ar, is just have them have overthrown the Shi'ar. And that's why they're relevant now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. Saurians overthrew Shi'ar.
Because fuck those birds, bitches.
As for the Majestani... Oh, the Galadorians. Oh, I just saw that. It'd be so funny if we made Rom Space Knight relevant. Also, Nikhil said, fuck those birds, and then his camera immediately disconnected. I don't think my internet disconnected. I think, because you guys can still see me, right? I think you guys can still see me, and Nikhil's just gone. Right? I'm going to need some positive confirmation in the chat. The birds got to him. Okay, that implies... Yeah, we can see... Okay, yeah. Yeah, Skype is reconnecting to Nikhil, so I think Nikhil's internet might have died. Can't hear me. Oh, yeah, no, he's gone. I see reconnecting on my Skype. He really said, fuck those birds, so the birds got him. Oh, yep, call just ended. Let me call him again and see if that works. Oh, did that freeze my stream? That froze me. Oh, crap.
Yeah, I don't think this is an internet thing, because my Twitch never gave out.
Oh, no, okay. It might have frozen for me in a second, but it's, like, still going now. I don't know what's... Okay. I think that was just Skype being bad. I was never frozen? Oh, weird. Okay. Your camera's also doing the thing again, Nikhil. Oh, there we go.
No, hold on. It's fake.
Maybe? It's very small.
Hold on.
We're fixing it. Point is, the birds got to him, and he's fine now.
Fucking Shi'ar, man.
Wait, Megan's. There's just a... Oh. Rip to anyone named Megan in the chat.
No one named Megan really exists.
Hey, I have a friend named Megan.
Sure you do.
I do, I promise. Okay.
Yeah, bud. Megan.
She lives in Canada. She goes to another school. Okay, where was I looking? Majestanians.
My camera really just died.
Okay. I want to say, like, I don't... Yeah, I was trying to remember what the history of the Majestanians was so that we could, like, play off that, and the reason I couldn't really remember much of them is because they aren't important. But we do know that they have issues with the Skrulls, and so it does make sense that if the Skrulls... Actually, wait. Okay, this is an interesting idea. What is a race that was sort of subjugated or had issues with the Kree? Because the Magisdanians had bad relationships with the Skrulls, the Swords had bad relationships with the Shi'ar. If we find a species that was sort of subjugated by the Kree, all the big ones sort of just take each other out, and then these are like the 3 that rise to power. I think that's really fun.
100% the Kree fucked over someone.
100%.
Like,
we just gotta figure out
all
who.
the Kree did.
Kree cockroach hybrids. Oh, right, Novar. I kind of forgot that's what he is. All right, Kree. There's got to be like a.
Kree Empire.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a section on the wiki that would be like diplomatic relations.
Experimenting on Earth, like fucking the Kree suck, man.
Yeah.
Why do all the big aliens?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Much? I feel like, I don't know if this is a controversial take or not. I feel like it's not. I feel like the Kree are incredibly boring. There are some interesting Kree characters. I'm not saying that every Kree character is bad, but the Kree as a concept, incredibly boring.
No, I absolutely agree. I think that can't be a hot take.
Yeah.
Like, who is
true?
Who is a fan of the Kree?
I mean, it would probably be the Kotati, right? Like, because that's the other one from Hala. Sure.
I'm sure if we went through that list of aliens, eventually we'd find one that mentioned.
See, this is another plant one. We could just make Groot a weird version of a Kotati. I mean, we can have there be 2 plants. And then the Kotati overthrew the Kree. So these are our big alien players in this world. Because the Skrulls and the Kree fought each other. It was not good. And then the Shi'ar kind of got caught in the crossfire.
Well, I think if, because the Shi'ar are kind of outside of it anyway, if you have those 2 just had their war and died, and then you have a separate thing that is the Swords just took out the Shi'ar.
It's interesting that someone says, what is Yondu's race? Because wasn't he enslaved by the Kree? Yondu is a separate thing in the comics. What's his species called? It's from something.
It's called Centauri.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's from like Alpha Centauri or something around there. It's a different thing in the comics. I think he's really the only one that matters of that species. There might be like some others, but none of them are important. I don't actually know if the MCU has ever confirmed his species to be the same. I don't know if it ever would matter.
I think that, yes, he's a Centaurian in both versions. I'm pretty sure that's confirmed. In the MCU.
And yeah, it's tough because he also just has blue skin. It's worth noting, the Mohawk. The Mohawk is a biological thing in the comics for Yondu, or at least it was originally. I think they've changed it now. But originally, like, it was blue skin and then the big red fin thing. That was what was the identifying feature for Centaurians. And then in the MCU, they made the Mohawk an additional thing, and so he kind of just looked like a blue Kree. And so I get why people were confused.
Well, but also, like, the Kree are, like, not blue.
No, there are a bunch of different ones, because there are blue and then there are human colored ones, because there's some blue ones in Captain Marvel's squad, and Ronan is a blue Kree.
Yeah, Ronan is.
Minerva is, and there's, I think, at least one other blue one on Carol's squad, but, like, there are definitely blue Kree.
Also, is Nebula supposed to be Kree?
I have no idea what Nebula is. I actually, that would be interesting to find out. Let me research that before we get back to space things, because now I'm just curious. Okay, let's see. Nebula. In the MCU, they say that she's something called a Lufamoid, which I've never heard in my life. What's the source on that? Lufamoid. Okay, click on that. Okay. References. Guidebook to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, that, like, just came out.
This says release date July 27th, 2016.
Well, time flies.
I guess this probably just has like a bio that says Nebula is a Lufamoid, whatever that is. Let me see if that's what she also is in the comics. Because, physical characteristics, maybe. Oh, yeah, Lufamoid Warlord. Okay, apparently that is just what Nebula is. They also just kind of look... I'm looking at pictures of other ones now. They just kind of look like Kree. Because they're blue people. Only 4 of them ever matter? This is so great for making the distinction between Lufamoids and Kree, because one of the 4 important Lufamoids is a dude named Kra. Kree are Kree. Kra is Kraa. Thanks.
Makes sense.
Thanks, Marvel. Also, yeah, he just looks the same. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole. So we have our aliens. We have our main aliens are going to be Saurids, Mazadanians, Kotati. I like that. Back to the question that I think we started and then got distracted from, which I think was my fault. What do we want Peter Quill's dad to be?
Chad.
Say that again? Say that again, but louder?
Chad.
You really want to have Peter Quill be half?
What is none of these things look human?
What?
None of
It doesn't
these
have to.
things
No,
look
it doesn't
human.
have to be one of these. These are the superpowers. These are the superpowers. So let me. I'll less superpowers. Sort of like each gets replaced by one new superpower. These are not the only alien races in the world. These are like our equivalent of Kree, Skrull, Shi'ar, to make things more interesting and more different. So it's still anything space. No, make it Kree. Hold on, Chair. You want Peter Quill's dad to be a ferret. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing from Chad? You want the actual ferret?
Is this gonna be? Is this Starship? Yes.
What if Quill's father is Galactus? I'm trying to think of the So, the mechanics of Galactus are more confusing than you think. And yes, we could do whatever we want, but also, look, we don't... I do really badly want to put Galacta into this universe, but that's something that we'll come back to later.
I mean, there's nothing saying that it has to be his dad.
No, it could be any. I'm saying dad because that's what it's been, but it can. I mean, who sends, who goes to get Quill, or who pays to get Quill?
It could be Guardian, not Guardian, Gladiator.
Oh, I don't hate that. Actually, that's interesting. That actually is a really interesting thing.
He's not Shi'ar. His name, he's a Stronton.
But he works for the Shi'ar, basically. He leads the Imperial Guard, so what is he doing in this?
To my understanding, the whole Imperial Guard are like species that they kind of...
Yeah, the Imperial Guard are the Legion of Superheroes from DC, basically. But like they are the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, so like I guess when the Shi'ar Empire goes away, do the Imperial Guard just kind of like split back to their home planets?
I assume, because the whole thing is that they're like the oppressed people anyway.
Yeah.
Like they just got one from every new country they put in their empire. So like I think yes, but Gladiator's in a pretty interesting spot because he's like the most protect the royal family, doesn't care. Like they'll change who the royal is and he'll just switch sides immediately. He'll be like, all right, now I'm with that one. So I think there could be a very interesting like we're the only people holding on to the Shi'ar as a concept.
Okay, I like that. Also, with Gladiator being a Superman stand-in, I feel like Quill's dad being Superman basically is interesting.
He's a Superman stand-in with the specific caveat that his powers are based on his own confidence.
Oh yeah.
And I think losing the entire empire, you were supposed to be guarding. I don't know how recent we want this to be, actually. I don't know if that's supposed to be something that happened a long time ago.
We can have all of these, because this... I think the Kree Skrull War should happen a bit beforehand, but the Shi'ar being overthrown could be a more recent thing, if we want. It literally just whenever we want.
Great. Then Chad could have helped do it.
Okay, cool. Also, someone said, "What if?"
Chad's a great.
Someone said, "What if Quill is his own father?" And I fully believe you meant that as a joke. But my real, genuine response is, we haven't gotten to Longshot in here yet, so we're not going to address that.
Hey, Longshot is his own.
Longshot's his own grandfather. I know there's a difference.
It's his own like great.
No, it's basically just his own grandfather. It's not that. Is it that far?
No, it's because Shatterstar goes back all the way back, and then Arise takes Shatterstar's DNA to make the race that Longshot is a part of. So
okay.
It's not as direct as literally being his own grandfather.
All right, so space that. I'll put this in. So, Gladiator is not doing too hot after the fall of the Shi'ar.
Sad boy
sends
time.
Rocket to.
That's also why he can send
Kid
Rocket
from
because
Earth.
he's sending Rocket because he's fucking got no confidence. He got no power.
Yeah.
Sad boy.
I feel like we should come up with an explanation as to why he was on Earth in the first place, but I also don't care to do that much.
Wait, no, we can't. It's easy.
Okay.
It's easy. The Shi'ar. Well, no, because we're trying to have the thing with the stone.
Also, people are saying like Fry from Futurama. Yes, but I do believe Longshot was first.
I think so. Also, Fry's literally there's a common thing called the grandfather paradox, and lots of Futurama episodes are just them doing scientific theories.
Yeah.
And that's the grandfather paradox episode. It's not like they invented it. But
I'm
anyway,
ready to type in your idea.
you could try and have they sent Gladiator to Earth to see if they could get the Shi'ar, get it for the Shi'ar Empire, and the Shi'ar Empire fell, or was like in battle, and so he left, and that's why. He's not been back.
That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting because. So he went to Earth for a mission, had a kid, or did the thing that leads to having a kid, and then gets like called away, and then the Empire falls, and he becomes sad. Okay, cool.
And then he calls for his
which
kid
he
back.
had
But he
on
can't
a
go get his
diplomatic
kid. He doesn't have any
mission.
confidence. Diplomatic in
That
quotes.
got diplomatic, but cut short by the fall of the Empire. All right, cool. I like that. And then Rocket gets, yeah. You fix all my typos. Why would the Empire be interested in Earth if it's locked off? To be fair, that could be one of the reasons why Gladiator was sent, because Gladiator is supposed to be like the strongest of the strong. So like.
Yeah, I feel like they were checking.
Yeah, like it was.
Like I don't think it was like literally conquer Earth
No.
right now. It was like go find out what the scary.
And that is because we established that it's not locked off. It is viewed because of weird magic and legends spread by the Octessence as like very dangerous. So that's why like they don't just send Shi'ar agents. They send like one of their big strong guys.
Yeah, they send Superman.
Yeah.
That's also why they call Superman back.
Yeah. Quill got the Percy Jackson demigod origin story. I mean, he kind of does anyway. Okay, cool. I like that. So we have our established. So we have our space stuff established, right? What is the first space arc that we sort of see in the universe then? Now that we have the rules, where do we go with it? What do we do that's interesting? We could obviously like this is where we get the first I think Rocket and Groot thing. Like Rocket and Groot definitely have their own series. I kind of don't want it to be them like just looking for Quill because we already have the Dormammu thing of Doyle coming to Earth and looking for Strange. So I don't want it to be just that again. We could
Well, I think that's another question. Like, what is Quill relevant to this story? Or is he just the inciting incident that gets Groot?
I mean, that's entirely up to us. Lied for a second, but it's good now. I will say the other option that we have that's like weirder, but technically, and what could actually be fun, we could just start a different thing, because what we've done mostly so far is everything has been like very tied into like this causes this causes this causes this.
That's what I was asking you last thing. If we wanted to do like actual comics, or if we were trying to make a big arc.
Okay, in this case, I do, like I said, I do want to go back and do like other comic, like I wanted to establish all the spheres first. I think if we have a sphere that is going to be new, I think this is the one that makes sense. So let's do... Okay, I just had a really weird idea, and I don't know if this is anything. This is not even a series thing, but it's like the bones of an idea, right?
Right.
Tell me, Nikhil, what are Nova's powers?
According to Lego Marvel Superheroes, yellow electricity.
Okay, not according to Lego Marvel Superheroes.
He's power cosmic, probably, right?
He basically just flies around and has energy blast, and is very fast. This is such a very trippy and weird idea. What if we tied in Juggernaut with the Nova Core?
Sure.
And just because then you have the Juggernaut Novas just flying through space like unstoppable Nova, like that kind of thing. Chat, what do we think about that? What do we think about unstoppable Nova? I think that's that's not the full series pitch, but I think that's an interesting idea to have. Because you've got like the helmets are enough of like a visual connection. Like I feel like you could make a really cool idea there.
This Nova. I'm trying to picture how Nova flies. Does he fly like Cannonball? Is his like butt fire?
I think because they call Nova's technical title is like the human rocket or something that you would associate more with Cannonball.
I know in Ultimate Spider-Man, Sam version, his butt's fire. I don't know about Richard Rider.
I think it's just kind of like a blue. Oh, here we go. It's just kind of like a blue trail.
His butt's definitely.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like this is an image that is smaller than I wanted it to be, but like just make that red, recolor the suit, and like this is like an organization that is drawing off the power of Sidorak to send their agents just flying through space.
Dig it.
I think that's cool as hell, actually.
I think that's fucking awesome.
I think that's really cool. Okay. So, I'm gonna put that in the state of space thing, or space status. State of space is funnier sounding. I'm gonna change this to state of space. So the Nova, what do we call them? Something core. Someone said Jugger core, which no.
What about, because it's space, Astro, and then because of Juggernaut, not. Astronauts.
Okay. See, I don't hate it, actually. I think it's really funny, but I don't think...
Put a hyphen in.
It is. Oh, if it wasn't for like a major thing, I would immediately be like, yes. Isn't that probably where astronaut comes from? Well, yeah, naut means like explorer or like traveler.
Yeah. I mean, Juggernaut comes from the same thing that astronaut comes from, and then I just re-added the astronaut.
We were.
So yes.
We're missing the obvious Nova nauts. I don't hate that, actually.
I had Nova, Astro. I feel like...
You know what? I'm just gonna...
What about Cosmo? Cosmonaut.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What if we... I think we're going too like complicated here. We could just strip it down. Space nauts.
I like Sidercore. It looks like a better pun in written out.
I think, well... See, that makes it sound like a company is the thing. Oh my god.
Then put an S at the fucking end of it, and it's core, not core.
Still though,
it doesn't look like a company.
Yes, Amy, we know cosmonauts is also a real thing. I know what a cosmonaut is. Why are people saying I don't know what it... No, I know what a cosmonaut is. Novanauts will be funny because I do like Novanauts. I think that is kind of fun, actually.
I thought mine were good, but
I let you put the swords in is important. I'm gonna write down Novanauts.
Fair enough.
Novanauts are basically
the crew. I love that too.
Wait, what? Oh, the crew.
What about crew?
I mean, we have brew. That's not that far off. Novanauts are basically
Bless you.
Juggernaut. Thank you. Nova Core. Okay, so that's good. I like that. I think that's cool. Do we want... Okay, so... That's just kind of a cool status thing, but that still is not like an arc with this. What do we want to do for a space arc?
I feel like to keep building, we have the stones come in contact. That sort of is going to be what opens up space.
Yeah.
So I feel like someone's got to come, and if we're tying the Nova to a stone, they could just come and be like, "We got to police your fucking stone." Because then we're not doing that. It's not like the plants don't know anymore. Like the Nova know clearly, and that's like a big organization, cop corps.
Yeah. So at least one Nova dude shows up to Earth. But then what happens? See, now I'm hitting writer's block for space stuff because we've got cool, like, this is a very cool concept, but I don't know what to do with it. Because what, like, the only sword that matters is Chod, right? I feel like that's a safe bet.
Only because the Shi'ar killed the rest of them, fucking bastards.
Yeah, okay.
In our world, they matter a lot.
Right.
There's Tom, spelled T''O''M, Tom.
Okay, keep pitching. Go on. I'm not gonna let you stop now.
I peeked at Tom. I don't know.
Matt Nikhil's Fun Time Universe episode 4. We peeked at Tom. No, we gotta. I don't actually know what the show title for this one's gonna be yet. Let's see. Don't do Infinity... I know I said don't do Infinity... I feel like it has to be Infinity Stone stuff, at least kind of first. Not like a major one, but like... At least with, like, maybe the Octessence or something. Okay. State of Space, Swords, Magisdanians, Kotati. Mind Stone is with the World Mind. What? I mean, do we want to do... No, I feel like it can't be like Infinity War arc yet. I feel like it's too soon for that right after... Well...
Yeah, I think so.
So... What's the alien set that we have so far? The only alien set we have so far is Rocket and Groot are on Earth. Looking for Quill. And then Quill...
I gotta take a sec. I'll be right back.
Alright, I'll keep just kind of babbling to myself and trying to come up with a good idea. Let's see. Chat, now that I don't have somebody to play off of, I'm going to need more interaction. We do have... I had a thought and it just left my brain. Where did it go? Oh, okay. So... The only stones that are on Earth are life and death. Celine has the life stone, is looking for the death stone. I don't think we ever established that she found it. What if someone else gets sent to follow up on Rocket's mission since he doesn't return, and they find one of the two stones here and move him Earth? Well, the thing is, that's really close to what we're doing with Dormammu. is the thing, or Doyle. Because the reason that, Doyle, that's how Clea gets there, is Dormammu doesn't, like, that's kind of already close to what we're doing with Groot, so I don't want to make that even more of a thing. What other... Let's see, because remember, the thing that we have that's more interesting here is we have not only just the stones, we also have the Octessence. So it could be like we have stone guardians and stone bearers as well that we can do interesting stuff with. So, if the... Because the thing is, we have to start relatively small and build up. Like, I don't want to jump into another event, and that's hard to do with space stuff. Rocket comes across it and removes both it and Peter from Earth. Yeah, I mean... This is tough. How did Marvel... actually, you know what? This will be an interesting thing. How did Marvel start introducing aliens into their world originally? I actually don't know. Because I know a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy started off with the Guardians 3000. So, but what was first, publication-wise, for Marvel? I don't even know what I would do to research this. The Kree were first seen in Fantastic Four 65. That seems like a safe bet. That seemed... oh, yeah, you're right. F4... It's the Fantastic Four, the Kree and the Skrulls. Wait, the Fantastic Four. Now, hold on a second. We haven't even touched Fantastic Four. We could make Fantastic Four more space-based if we wanted. Because the Fantastic Four, technically, were astronauts. We could do a Fantastic Four space thing and have them be... Because, like I said, we wanted to do something isolated, right? We didn't want everything in this to tie in directly to other events. We can have the Fantastic Four be more isolated. That's an interesting idea. Okay, I like that. I'm going to wait till Nikhil gets back to start talking about, like, members and stuff. Also, I don't know why my camera's freaking out. I'm hoping that that's just on my end and you're not seeing it, but I think the camera's being janky on everyone's end. Fantastic Four receive powers from a stone they find on another planet. No, I think it's fine if they just, like, get powers from weird cosmic space storm. I think that's such an iconic Fantastic Four thing. But, like, say... Okay, so the thing with the Fantastic Four, right? They were supposed to be astronauts. They went up into space. They got weird cosmic storm, and then they came back. What if they just don't come back? What if the Fantastic Four goes up into space, gets weird cosmic spaced, and then just goes and has space adventures? Because they do that later. There are eras of the FF where they have space adventures. Or, like, interdimensional adventures somehow, but same difference. That's an interesting idea. Okay. Again, we would have to determine some specifics, and I want to wait for Nikhil to do that, but we can pitch various ideas. Can they crash onto Nowhere? I feel like Nowhere's a big jump, especially because Nowhere establishes celestial lore, which is kind of a different thing. Do we want the F4 to be the same? I feel like the F4 at least have to be mostly the same, members-wise.
I'm back.
You're back. Okay, I had a thought. Let me actually make sure that your camera loaded in where it's supposed to, which we'll find out in a second with stream delay. There we go. Okay. So I realized if we want to do a more isolated space start, right? Fantastic Four makes sense.
Yep.
Because so we could literally just have it as like Fantastic Four. They're astronauts. They go into space. They get cosmic radiation, and then keep going. Like they just don't come back to Earth and they go have space adventures.
I like it. I do have something.
Okay.
I want to say though.
That's
I gotta check something.
Saying
I gotta
things
check
is
something.
generally allowed. Encouraged, even.
Because I heard what you were talking about. And I want to see. Ah, no, never mind.
What were you looking up?
You said a much later number Fantastic Four than I would have expected for the Kree, and so I was curious if the Xenox that I once talked to you about
Oh, yeah.
beat them, but they don't. They're 2 years back.
Rip. Well, actually,
Um,
while you're looking it up, what's the first appearance of Skrulls? Because if the Kree are 65, I know the Skrulls are also in Fantastic Four, but that's like early FF. That's
the
like
Scrolls.
that might be like first 20 issues.
Scrolls. See.
Also, Doom being the leader instead of Reed, no, Doom matters in this universe. But also,
Why is there not like a good fandom article just for Scrolls? What the hell is this?
I think
Oh,
there
it
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I found it. Oh no! If you go to it, you can go to Deviant Scrolls, Prime Scrolls, or Eternal Scrolls.
Yeah, because Skrulls are weird.
Just give me the goddamn Scrolls.
Give the FF Power Packs powers. Just make the Fantastic Four Power Pack.
Okay, it says that Scrolls first appeared in 1961.
What was the issue number, though? Or does it say?
Fantastic Four 2.
2! God! Whoa!
Oh wait, no, that's named. Okay, so I don't know if that means they're actually there.
Well,
They just
still,
say
I was just thinking about like what aliens showed up. So, how were they named in 2 and then didn't? That's a rabbit hole for later. But so the question: do we want to do Fantastic Four with just the same lineup, same powers, same lineup, different powers? If we want to do like same lineup, same powers, and change it a little bit, we could just do a Fantastic Five thing and have them have another one. How do we want to do? Because I like this idea. So this will be like our space series, and we can do the rocket one in a bit.
I have a pitch.
Go, pitch.
I don't know you're gonna like it. Fantastic Four, go into space.
Okay.
Get hit by cosmic rays.
This
Somehow
pitch is just Fantastic Four.
Somehow get farther away from Earth. Get found.
Okay.
By aliens.
Okay.
Get put on a prison labor planet.
Okay.
Become friends with the inmates.
Okay.
Lead a revolt.
Okay.
And this is, if you don't know, this is the origin of Corsair, Scott's dad, and how he founded the Starjammers. And this could just be the revolt that takes down the Shi'ar in this version.
Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, just make the Fantastic Four Corsairs. Give them Corsair's origin.
Yeah. But without the fridging wife death.
What about his skunk wife? Does the skunk wife show up later?
The skunk wife's from the thing. Raza, the skunk wife, and Todd are all from that thing. They can all just join up.
That's cool. I like that. All right, so Fantastic Four. Actually, you type it in. You were the one that knows Corsair's origin better. You type that in.
I'm gonna put 4 quotes because I don't know.
Yeah. Put four in quotes for now. I think we at least have to leave the core members the same because the Fantastic Four is so iconic. It has to be Reed, Sue, Johnny, Ben. But they can have slightly different powers if we want them to. Also, our Franklin Richards will make more sense. I just want to establish that right now. Fantastic Four normal lineup plus Moondragon. So elements plus like I feel like adding Moondragon specifically is a pull. Add Vance Astrovic. He has a history with the Fantastic Four in space. It could be Vance Astro. Like what other? I guess okay. Let's actually. Do we want the 4 to have the same powers, or do we want to mix and match them a little bit?
But this is also really good because if we're saying they're taking on the Shi'ar, then this is all happening around the time of Quill's conception.
Yeah,
this is like a while back.
This is really good too because this is a setup that allows us to say things were happening. Like this takes place before everything else, but it is totally unaffected of Earth. It is just a bunch of astronauts went into space and vanished.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. And that also very easily lets it be like, yeah, this is a different thing that we don't have to directly connect to everything else. Okay, neat. Do they have to be the Fantastic Four? Can they be the Guardians of the Galaxy? I want them to be the F4. The F4 are very important to Marvel history, so I think having an F4 is important. But I want to mix them up at least a little bit, other than just their origin.
I mean, I just merged them with the Starjammers. I feel like that's pretty different.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I mean like the lineup, not just the origin, like the lineup. I want to change at least a little bit.
Easy, got you. Boom. Don't like it? Hold on, I got other options. Don't even worry.
That.
There you go. I got so many of these I could do for you.
I mean, just okay. I will say the idea of Wakanda space program Fantastic Four, interesting.
Starjammers.
Wakanda's well, yeah, but like first, like the idea of the Fantastic Four being Wakandan astronauts, and that's why they're first is because Wakanda's just leagues ahead of everyone else. I don't actually hate. But
yeah, but that kind of makes my slave planet worse.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, yeah, okay, not gonna do that. Not gonna do that one.
To be fair, I just now noticing though that T'Challa does have a similar story. Like, isn't that space Wakanda? Isn't
I have not read Space Empire
of
Wakanda. I have not read Space Empire.
I feel like that's what that story is.
Also, people are bringing up symbiotes again. Symbiotes, I think we're going to cover during the Spider-Man section. I know everyone's very excited for symbiotes to get in here, but I have plans for them.
Everyone, don't worry, because Reed is a symbiote. That's why he's so stretchy. And he is symbiotic with Sue. So there you go.
I don't want to think about that. Okay, give the F4 more like space-like powers. I mean, we could see. I feel like they have to have the same powers, but we could put variants on them a little bit, like variations.
This is such an irrelevant thing to change, but instead of just being regular rocks, it's somehow space rocks for Ben. It's the Earth of a different place. It's not Earth. Whatever.
Okay.
Like they're
is Thing just made of normal rocks, like normal Earth rocks?
I think so.
But he's bright orange.
Yeah, so you ever seen Clay? He's a golem.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not made of clay.
Get your Jewish history up. Let's go.
Is Thing made of clay? I know what a golem is, but like.
Oh no, it's not made of rocks. It's just a tough rock-like hide. According to Quora, that's the
according to Quora. Okay, I want to change him a little bit so it's not just the same lineup in a different setting. But I don't know enough about the Fantastic Four I haven't read enough Fantastic Four books. Idea.
Yes.
Oh, this is such low-hanging fruit. In a way that I kind of like. What if we gave him the powers of the UFOs? What if we just gave him the powers of the UFOs? You look confused. Do you know what the UFOs are?
No,
the UFOs are a group of supervillains who went into space to try to duplicate the powers of the Fantastic Four. They literally just tried to do the same thing and got similar but slightly different powers. What if we just swapped the powers of the F4 and the UFOs?
Sure.
All right, cool, easy. So they have a dude who has they have a telekinetic guy, someone who can turn into gas, someone who is made of living energy, and then someone who was made of metal. They basically just got turned into stuff. So what powers do we want to give?
I was like, the other thing is the Fantastic Four are like the four elements, so we could also just try and figure out different ways of them being the four elements, or different elements.
That is also true. Because the UFOs are like almost that. They have air. They have fire, like energy, radiation, and they have a guy who's metal, and then they just have a guy who's telekinetic instead of doing anything for like. I guess
that's okay.
Well, now I'm thinking about it.
Who's
I was about to say, is Reed supposed to be...
It's supposed to be Reed. It's just the loosest one by far.
Yeah.
But it's like, fill the container or whatever. Like, he's liquidy.
I guess. That's dumb.
It's the loosest one. It's not great, but...
But yeah, the UFOs are the same bit then, because it's metal, radiation, gas, and... telekinesis. Okay, I got a really stupid...
Oh, what if it's... what if it's all the same powers? We just gender bend all of them.
Wait, okay, I mean, we could do that. Also, someone says, how is Sue air? Can you see air?
Guys, it's the 60s. Thor flew by throwing his hammer and holding on. Superman could jump because of
also force fields. Force fields are just like harder air. It's stupid, but it does.
But
track.
Also ask yourself how you knew Superman.
Fuck you. Fuck the people who were writing FF in the 60s making this the thing.
Go say that to
Yeah. I'm just saying what it is. Don't blame me for this.
That's the other thing I was getting a lot on the Omega video, is a lot of people just being like mad at me. It's like, I didn't make the list. I didn't take. I'm not the reason Darwin's not an Omega. Go ask someone else.
Yeah, that's how doing comics content on the internet is. Okay, so do we want to make it the same powers and just switch them? Or I
feel like that was kind of a joke, but also I do feel like we're very male dominant.
That is true. That is true, because we have we have more women on the Avengers.
The biggest female representation.
But
do we really? Who's on the
Moon
Avengers?
Girl and Wasp and Sentry is Lady Loki specifically.
Oh. Okay, I guess that counts, Lady Loki.
No, because it's very like the Loki in this universe is very actively gender fluid, male Mysterio, female Sentry, and is like just swapping between them, like both for secret identity purposes, but also because this is just a very intentionally characterized as gender fluid Loki. Like,
well, my thing was, at least for the parts I've been here for, the majority of women have been on the sexy team, and not
yeah. That's also just... Hey, you were doing most of the X-Men lineup. You know more of the X-Men lineup than me.
I was.
But also, I think...
I think I was pigeonholed with the sexy concept.
That you came up with. But the thing is, I remember us talking about this last week is because we were trying to come up with... Because we had the whole discussion about Monet and her penance form, where it's like, we were trying to come up with like weird physical mutation characters, and because there are... some issues with comics, especially from certain decades, there aren't like monster-y female mutants. That's just not a thing.
But my point is, I think we should work more.
Yes, that is true. That is true. So the question then would, like, when you say we
don't have to literally gender bend the Fantastic Four. Just a gender.
I mean, we could, yeah. Whoops. I like giving them the UFOs powers. If we want to do that. I think that's funny.
Let's do it.
I think that's funny. So which power corresponds to which person? Because we don't have to have the powers correspond to, like, the same element.
I was going to say, are we going to do it the logical way, or are we going to
We can do it however the heck we want.
I feel like it'd be funny if Johnny was the telekinetic. Or telepathic, or whatever it was, because, like, that's just not
Yeah,
like the character I would assume would be.
I'm gonna put in parentheses the power set that they have, not necessarily the name. I think it makes some level of sense to give Reed the living energy guy. I feel like that probably fits his vibe because he could do stuff with that.
Science, man, science.
So then that question leaves, do we want Sue to be the one who can turn into gas and then Ben be metal, or swap those?
I want to say Blue Salakazam. That is one of the most unhinged comments I've ever seen.
What if Sue and Johnny become sisters, and instead of Reed beating his wife, he just flip-flops between the two?
Also, no, I mean, I don't even want to suggest that you should be flip-flopping between siblings. I was going to say you could still do it with Johnny.
No, I don't think that, to be fair, I don't think that comment was intended to be an ethically good thing. I think that was intended to be Reed still being questionable in a different way. But still, it's a thing. It's a hell of a thing to read. Yeah, okay, I will say, everyone's saying let Sue be metal. I think that's fine. I think that's good. We're not going to call her Ironheart. We're not going to make Sue Storm Ironheart. That's no. But I think that's fine. Yeah. We can give her metal powers, and then actually, that does make some level of sense, because you can still have Ben be like have problems with his powers if he's like the gas guy. Yeah. Okay, cool. So these are not the names that we'd use necessarily, but Fantastic Four with UFO powers. Also, I'm going to be honest. I think we if we're talking about gender representation, I think what we should probably do is what Marvel sort of has tried to do sort of recently, and I don't know how successful it's been, and not swap the genders of characters, but just make Sue matter more.
The swapping was a joke.
Yeah,
I did not mean to actually swap them.
Make Susan matter more as an individual character. Which, to be clear, again, she has done more in recent years. But if you go back and read original Fantastic Four, she is woman character, and that's most of what she is in the first stuff. Okay, so that's cool. The origin you wrote down, nice. And that's just our first sort of arc of Fantastic Four. So what happens from... Okay, cool. I like where we're at here. Because then they set up the Saurids. So... what do we want to do from here, then? Let Sue be the leader and Reed just be the brains. Yeah, I think that's fine. Her with like the tactical leader. Can Susan be the smart one and Reed be her younger assistant? I think Reed Richards being the super intelligent one is like such a fundamental thing of the character that it has to stay, because it's also like kind of one of his biggest flaws is that he's super smart, and
it's also like
lords it over everybody.
That he is.
Yeah.
Like it's more his power than the stretchiness.
Yes.
I have no problem taking the stretchiness from him.
I mean, heck.
But I feel like Dom Reed is enough.
If you...
like, it would have to be the joke would be that it's Dom
If
Reed.
you read any comic that Reed is in, he uses his stretching to make him doing science more convenient far more than he does for anything else. You don't see him fighting with stretchiness as much as, like, you'll see him building a machine and just be, like, bent all around it working on stuff. Like, that's what he uses it as a tool.
Or in Lego Marvel Superheroes, when he could just become things. Like cranes and wrenches and such.
Yeah. I think we leave the personalities of them largely unchanged. Because, again, the Fantastic Four is such an iconic thing. I don't want to change everything about them. Obviously, this is more modern Fantastic Four where, like, Sue matters more. But I think the personalities of them do need to be largely unchanged. I do love the idea of Johnny with telekinesis, because I do have this very good image in my mind of, like, still kind of famous, super popular Johnny just, like, having a pair of sunglasses in his hand, and then the sunglasses just, like, fly onto his face. I think that's very good. I like that image quite a bit. So I think the Fantastic Four need to have space adventures for a bit, and then they come to Earth, and that's like them coming back is like a big thing. And I think they need to have more than one space adventure before they come back.
We've set this all up to be happening. Like, it's the exact same amount of years ago as however old we want Peter Quill to be.
Which is an interesting... Well, I mean, it's a question that we don't really have, because Peter Quill can be whatever the heck age.
10. 9.
8. 7. He was born 2 days ago at this rate. Okay. So I want one more space adventure for the Fantastic Four at least, because I don't want them to just break out and then come right back to Earth. They need to have at least one other space adventure, and maybe like more implied space adventures in between. So what else do we want the Fantastic Four then to do? What's another space adventure that we can have? I think this is where we introduce the Novenauts.
Well, I think, like I said, we did this. This is all like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Is what this was. So maybe we now jump to like now. Like, what are they doing since they threw off the Shi'ar?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So there's like a time skip, and they've been doing stuff in that time. They've been like superhero-y during that time. Actually, it makes sense. That I actually like that, because what they could have like the sort of side goal of trying to get back to Earth, but because of the Infinity Stone thing, it's like very hard to do that. And so they've been helping people and like trying to get back to Earth for a very long time, and then stuff happens. Okay, so that's good. So take down the Shi'ar. Keep being space heroes as they try to find Earth again. I don't think I have to type in the hard because of the Infinity Stone thing, but that's good. So,
you could go ahead and clarify what Earth is real quick.
Clarify what Earth is?
Yeah, just so like they know. Here, I got it. Okay. Don't worry. Just so like when we're reading it back, we know.
Okay, that's fair. They became Heralds of Galactus. I don't think that. Okay, yeah, I'm glad that that's what you clarified. Sure. I mean, I don't hate the idea of doing Galactus. I think that this arc, I want the Nova.
I mean, we could do the original Galactus arc. Like, you could just be the ultimate nullifier and everything. Just instead of protecting Earth, it's like protecting some random planet.
But then how do we change that to be different enough though?
It's not Earth. It's not Earth.
But is it just the same story, just on a different planet? Like, how much would that change functionally?
Setting.
What? Did you say 7?
Setting.
Oh, I heard. I thought I said how much would that change, and you just paused and said 7. I was like,
that
what?
That would have been way funnier. That would have been way funnier. I'm upset.
That's like that Always Sunny thing. Do you know how much pollution a bus causes? I don't know, 3? Like, okay. Okay, I think that this second sort of Fantastic Four arc is where we have to introduce the Novanauts, because if the Nova, I love that name. I like that name a lot. But if the Novanauts are under Cyttorak, they would also have some hand in like hiding and kind of blocking off Earth from the rest of the galaxy. So it actually does make sense that like the Novanaut arc is the one where the FF figure out where Earth is.
Well, I think logically the Fantastic Four should have been working with the Novanauts.
Oh yeah.
For the last 20 years.
I should be more specific. When I say introduce them, I mean introduce them to the readers more. Not yet.
No, I know. I'm saying like I think that a sort of arc where they discover like they're buddies with some of the Novanauts, and they discover that the Novanauts have been the ones keeping them from Earth, and then they figure out the whole Infinity Stone.
I was going to say if we do that, I think we need 3. Because I think it's more impactful if we have the original Fantastic Four arc, some arc that's either right after the original thing or like a year or 2 after, where we introduce the Novanauts and set them up as allies, and then we do the time skip, and it's like, oh, the Novanauts were kind of hiding stuff from them.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think we have to split that up into 3. So, do we... Okay, this is an interesting idea. So... For Arc 2 of the Fantastic Four, the they team up with the Novanauts. What do we want them to team up with the Novanauts against? I think it would be interesting if it was a different one of the Octessants. Like, one of them goes rogue from the group and, like, wants to do something with the stones, and the others try to shut him down. So who do we want that to be?
I don't know fuck all about the Octessants.
The great thing about them is they have basically no lore except for Sirac and a little bit Krakan. So we can do basically whatever the heck we want.
I'm drawn to the name Ragador and Watum.
Ragador is the time guy. Watum is the matter one. I'm trying. Which of these stones would be the most likely to be like, this agreement that we set up to hide the stones? Screw that. Which of them do we want to not do that anymore?
You're asking me questions. I don't know.
Well, no, I'm not less based off the vibe of the character and more based off the vibe of the stone, if that makes sense. Like, think of their personalities as like stone guardians.
Void is the obvious answer.
That is, yeah.
Like, I feel like in this world, Void's the worst stone. Like, I think that's the scary stone.
And that also does, because people were saying like space v Void is like enough of a sort of thing that does make sense. So Krakan, who looks scary as hell, by the way. If you don't know what Krakan looks like, I'm gonna pull up a picture of him. This is kind of funny. Originally, Krakan was this dude. Why am I showing you the back of a guy's head? Because that was basically the only image that we had of Krakan. Then, many years later, they were like, what if we made Krakan actually a guy? And they did, and now he looks like this. And is much scarier. So, yeah, I mean, Krakan is pretty nicely set up to be the... What the heck are you doing, Nikhil?
Lights. I'm trying to get a light set up so my room's not fading into darkness. But it's all tangled in my wires and underneath my desk.
So, Krakan is nicely set up to be the bad guy because he's a scary skeleton monster. So,
Aren't we
okay,
all,
cool.
In a way.
Arc 2 of Fantastic Four is Krakan goes...
Why orange?
You're a little golden. Goes rogue from the Stone Pact, which I can come up with a different name for that later, but F4 team up with the Novanauts to stop him. Easy. That doesn't have to be complicated. Arc 3, thanks to Infinity Stone stuff in the last adventure. Oh, actually, well, we can do, actually, I think we could do the time, okay, wait. We do the time skip between Arc 1 and Arc 2, and Arc 2 also allows us to introduce at least one kid.
Oh, yeah.
At least
20 years passed.
Yeah.
Also, that makes Franklin old as fuck. He's older than Peter Quill? I bet your ass he is. Oh, I guess he's a little
because it would be, well, it could be Valeria, too. Valeria's underrated. But she's really, I want her to be related to Doom, too, because Doom is good. Maybe we make Valeria the younger one, and then she gets related to Doom later.
Is Valeria not the younger one?
Isn't she? Oh, no, she is. Sorry, I'm mixed up. Yeah, so it would be, so introduce Franklin. We can mess with his powers later if we want.
I forgot the F4 had kids. You know what? I do too, all the time, but it's funny because they've had them for so long.
Yeah.
Like, they've had them for longer than
it's because the F4 became irrelevant for a while. Everyone forgot that the F4 was important because Marvel didn't have the movie rights.
Well, it's not even that. It's that the movies suck.
Yeah, the Marvel didn't... Well, yeah, because Marvel didn't have the movie rights and the movies were bad.
1968 is the first appearance of Franklin Richards. So almost the whole damn time.
He has aged about 10 years in about 70.
He's a baby, surely, at the beginning. like a literal baby.
Yeah, and he's like 16 now.
Yeah, so he's aged 16 years then.
Okay, yeah, I don't actually know how old he's. I was thinking he was like 12 when I said that, but I was like, no, he's a little bit older now. Introduce Franklin. Thanks to Infinity Stone stuff in the last adventure, the F4 is now suspicious of the Novanauts. They find out they've been hiding Earth. And then that's the thing is they find or what? How do I type this in a way that doesn't sound super redundant? I guess just.
Oh, I got you.
Oh yeah,
Hold
go.
on.
Wait, I thought Franklin was introduced in like the 2000s. Yeah, you'd think. You'd think so, wouldn't you?
All right, got it.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you for that clarification. Hiding Earth, their home planet, so they like have. I'll just be vague. I don't care. They have a conflict with them.
Franklin Richards actually plays a part in Days of Future Past.
Back.
Fun fact.
Really? I actually didn't know that one. I did not know that one.
He's married to Rachel Summers in the future timeline.
Really? I had no idea. That's weird. Okay, so that's our 3 arcs of Fantastic Four then. Good for us. So our first space series is F4. It takes place chronologically in universe before everything else. They go into space, get their funky powers, get captured by the Shi'ar, overthrow the Shi'ar with Cha'ad, Nikhil's favorite guy, and then as they are trying to get back to Earth, they go around and be space heroes. There's a time skip between their first origin arc and their second arc. In the second arc, Krakan goes rogue from the Infinity Stone Pact. The F4 team up with the Novanauts to stop them. This is also when we introduce Franklin, who was born at some point during the time skip. And then in Arc 3, that is right after Arc 2, thanks to the Infinity Stone stuff in the last adventure, the F4 is like, hey, that's weird. The Novanauts have been like hiding these planets from existence and we can't find anything about Earth anywhere. Maybe that's kind of suspicious. And then they dig into that, find Earth, and go back. And then from there on, I guess like probably one of the big crossover event things for this space thing would be the F4 coming back. Like that would probably be the big crossover at the end of this. So that is cool. One thing for Franklin. How do we want to handle Franklin's powers? He's definitely not a mutant in this universe because the fact that Franklin Richards is a mutant is dumb as hell.
No! What?
I think Franklin being a mutant is stupid.
Who has that take? That's a horrible take.
I think it's dumb. I don't...
I just told you he was married to Rachel Summers. What are you talking about?
No, I don't think he should be originally. I think, it, like... Here, okay.
Getting rid of him being a mutant is dumb.
I will say...
Him being a mutant is good. I've never heard this. I've literally never heard an anti-Franklin as a mutant person.
I just... Look... Maybe I'm just okay. Maybe I'm just bitter about it because of X-Men versus Fantastic Four, and just like that whole thing was weird. But like, because isn't he not a mutant anymore?
He's not. That's the thing everyone hates.
Maybe that. Okay. Okay. I think I'm just getting mixed up. I think I'm just stupid. Yeah. No. Ignore me. I'm just dumb.
Okay. Literally everyone goes the one direction. I've never heard Dan Slott nailed it. Fuck that.
No,
shit.
I'm very mixed up. Ignore me. I was thinking for some reason I was getting that whole event mixed up. No, it's stupid that they I was thinking it's stupid. Yeah. My brain went X-Men Franklin bad, and that was wrong. Okay. That said, I mean, is he just a mutant in space that is I
do not know for our universe, because the thing I like about Franklin being a mutant is it's very like nice that the main couple, like the famous family, has a mutant in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're really doing that. So
yeah, because this is not like the famous heroes in this world. So I guess like another question is, do we even want him to have the same powers? Like, do we want him to just be God? Because one thing, like, I will say this. I think if we make Franklin still God, we have to do stuff with it that's not just using Franklin as a catalyst for other things. Because that's all that Franklin Richards is in a lot of stories.
Are you saying that you don't want him to just make universes in his bed, and that's just like a neat fun fact?
No. I think that's fun, but I'm saying from a narrative perspective, like 80% of what Franklin Richards does is start problem for someone else, basically.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think if we keep making him a god, we have to do some. We have to give him stories and not just have him be a catalyst for other things. Does that make sense?
Yes, but also he's a baby. Oh, but also we're time skipping.
Yeah. We're time skipping at this point. We're time skipping at this point. So yeah, we can do whatever we want. So do we want him to be a mutant though, or do we want? Because you're right. I was getting super mixed up because of X-Men Fantastic Four, but also in our version, it does not make it.
Oh, I love this.
Huh?
Yes, do this. Make Franklin have the power as a power pack, like all of them. Power packs.
Okay, because Franklin was on Power Pack for a bit.
Yeah.
So. Because what would that? So, because here's the thing. Oh wait. Oh, that's actually really interesting because Power Pack is just like physics powers. It's like energy, speed, density, and gravity. So I think it is actually super believable. Like, oh wait, that's really cool. So he has all the powers of Power Pack originally, and then there can be like an arc in which he learns to use his physics powers like so well that he basically becomes a god character because he can just manipulate the laws of physics.
Cool to me, man.
Okay, cool. I like that. Has all.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
He was a mutant first. It's why they throw some shade in that Omega list I've been having to talk about on TikTok for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But his name is on it still, but it's like got an asterisk and it's written in red ink instead of what else is black.
Over fundamental physics. Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. Because that also like that means we don't have to deal with like god level baby as much. We can still have some of the stuff, but like he's the best comparison I can actually think of is he's freaking Jack from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Which I mean is what Jack is based on. So that makes sense. We just take some inspiration from that.
I actually never put together that Jack was Franklin. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, because the other ones are just the Fantastic Four, but with their powers altered and switched around between them, and then he's not a god, but he's the baby with all the powers.
There's no Johnny though.
Dash is the equivalent. Like their personalities are really similar, and like super speed, fire, close enough. But like Violet's just Sue.
Violet's just Sue.
Mrs. Incredible's just Reed, and then Mr. Incredible's just strong without rocks. But yeah, he has enough power. He has enough powers to have like superpower baby things. But then okay, that's cool. I like that a lot actually. The power pack idea was very good. Someone said the way I'm just listening to this stream and can't see anything because I put the stream to 160p. Why do you have the stream on 160p? Make the actual power pack a group of servants of Franklin.
He's their patron, and they make a power pack.
Okay. If it's for the pun, that's funny. But also,
I was like, you swayed me immediately with the pun.
Power packed is funny. Okay, so this is good. This is good. I like where we're at so far on this. Do we want to? We have like 9 minutes left until we hit 3 hours. I want to do a little bit of a recap.
Yeah, I also have a hard out at 8. So.
Okay, so really, because I can do the recap by myself if we need to. So, do we really quick kind of want to do like what we did last time and figure out like what the bones of this sort of crossover event would be? Because next week I will say this. Next week I want to do Spider-Man.
I think we're missing a space thing. I gotta be honest. I think if we want to do a big event, we have the Earth, and it should be like also 2 sides of the space thing meeting.
Okay, it could. Okay. It would be easy enough for it would be easy enough for like the Fantastic Four to come back to Earth and just someone chases them there to find the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
But also, that's a bit boring.
That's what I was gonna say. I think if we set up another space thing,
okay,
and then it'll feel like three things coming in together with the Earth stuff with Groot and everything, and then the two space arcs.
Okay.
And that leads to some big space event.
Guardians. Do we want to do any sort of Guardians of the Galaxy thing? Because we haven't touched that at all. Symbiotes, I know people are going to bring up symbiotes again, but that's later.
I'm good. I could do a Guardian.
Yeah, but what? Okay. Because that is the other. Like, it can't be. Because we have sort of the original. I think maybe like a Guardians 3000 based thing. Because we have the original Guardians in, like, Rocket, Groot, and Quill are the space characters that are on Earth at the time. The Fantastic Four are the ones that are out and then coming back to Earth. So I think it has to be...
It has to be, like, a pure space.
Yeah, it has to be a purely space thing, and I think it has to do with aliens. It can't be humans doing stuff. Someone says, just going to say something as Guardians of the Galaxy. We did have Thor earlier. Thor is going to be set up for a later Avengers arc that we will write. You could use Darkhawk.
I don't even know anything. Darkhawk, shitty Marvel Snap card. That's all I know about Darkhawk.
What does he do in Snap?
It's like add 2 cards to the opponent's hand or something. I don't know.
Darkhawk is...
No, it's like +2 power for every card in your opponent's hand.
Oh, yeah, that's really niche. I don't know there are things like that in Magic. You could do... Darkhawk's thing is basically he was a human. He found this, like, crystal thing that lets him, like, swap places and consciousnesses. I guess it's really swap bodies with a super space robot, essentially. So he, like, can touch the amulet and, like, his mind stays where it is, but, like, his body swaps with the super space robot.
Is the look of Darkhawk the robot or the guy?
Yeah, Darkhawk's body is fully just a robot that the human Darkhawk's, like, mind is in.
Oh,
it's not even a suit. It is fully, he is swapping places with a robot, and his body is going into, like, a stasis tube off in space. Darkhawk's cool. He's underrated because he was, like, a kind of weird 90s character, but Darkhawk is an interesting concept.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's cooler than his fucking Marvel Snap card.
Yeah, he's pretty neat. And then he got a revival, and it did not go anywhere. But yeah, that's that. And then they did, like, really weird stuff. Dude, I gotta show you one of the coolest...
6 minutes.
It didn't... Oh, okay. Hold on. I do have to show you this, though, because it's worth it. And we can come back to this next week if we want, whatever. I think... Is it just called Starhawk? Yeah, dude, look at the incredibly extra design that they did. Where's a good picture of it? For Infinity Warps. I absolutely freaking love it. It's so...
Is it Starhawk?
No, they fused Starhawk from the Guardians and Darkhawk, and look at, like, the freaking incredibly over-the-top, like, Space Knight Birdman design. I love it. I think it looks so good. He's so funky.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Dark Starhawk. That was it. It's Dark Starhawk. Let me see if I can actually find a better picture from that name. Because there's another image that there's another, like, very specific image that I want, and I don't know where it is. It's the one where he, like, turns himself into a spaceship. Because this series was wild.
I feel like you go back to Infinity Warps so often. I've never read it.
Dude, I am going to do the Punisher packs. I'm going to record a Punisher pack video tonight, and I feel like the comments are going to be full of people like, do the Infinity Warps. And I'm going to be like, I've already done it twice, but it usually gets views, so maybe I'll do it again. I can't find the image that I'm looking for, and I don't want to spend too much time on that, so we'll just... I mean, we could 100% do something with the Starhawks or the Darkhawks because they are neat.
I'll be down. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to, like, they are actually. Wait, are they actually Shi'ar related? I don't remember because they're like space birds.
They are. Yeah. Well, that usually means. Shi'ar.
Uh,
But they're not anything to do with the X-Men, so I assume the Shi'ar don't.
because we could easily say that they are, you know? Because called the Raptors.
Yeah, it seems like they're not Shi'ar related.
Created by the Shi'ar before the... Yeah, it was created by the Shi'ar.
What?
The Darkhawk... the Darkhawk
I literally
armor...
just control find the word
They
Shi'ar.
were created by the Shi'ar.
Great.
Oh, wait,
maybe this is how we could actually tell a story with Gladiator.
Yeah, the Brotherhood of Raptors was for the Shi'ar. So we could totally do something with that where, like, after the Shi'ar Empire falls, something happens with them.
The reason that it didn't show any Shi'ar for me is I was looking at Starhawk.
That's a different guy. To be fair, it does say Dark Starhawk on the screen because it's the fused version. But yeah, Darkhawk is Shi'ar based. I mean, he doesn't really matter. It's just like a weapon that they made that then kind of did unrelated stuff. But for our purposes, maybe that's where we just cut off for tonight. If you have to go in like 2 minutes,
I do have to go.
I'm gonna write pick back up with Darkhawk Shi'ar stuff, and then we will do that next week. So let's do a quick recap. If you need to head out,
yes, but I want to plug my stuff.
Oh yeah, plug your stuff. I'll do the recap. Or plug your stuff.
Everyone, follow me on TikTok if you don't. Twitch, Tuesday, which is in 2 days. I'll be streaming Marvel Snap. Other than that, I stream Lego Marvel Superheroes.
It's not in 2 days.
Tuesday?
You said Tuesday, or Tuesdays?
Oh, shit, Tuesday's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Catch me playing Marvel Snap at 3 p.m. Pacific. Saturday, catch me here on Canon Clash.
Yes, I'll talk about that in a minute.
And catch me just on Twitch. Just follow my Twitch. I need followers on Twitch. Just come over. Just hang out. I got emojis now. It's great.
Yeah, go vibe with Nikhil.
All
right, see you later. Okay, let me hide that so we don't have awkward frozen Nikhil face on the screen as I'm doing this. Also, I know I'm lagging again. I don't know what's up, but hopefully that'll fix it. So let me do a quick recap of what we did tonight, and then I got like announcements where you can find previous episodes, other new things, but I'll make this quick. So our main goal today was to set up space stuff. So weirdly, we started with Kulan Gath turning everybody in New York City into like a barbarian times people, which is funky, but I do love it. So Groot is able to escape this spell because he is a plant, and the spell does not affect plants. So he's running around New York City trying to fix things. As he's doing this, the government doesn't have their main superhero team because they're also NYCC based, or NYCC, that's Comic-Con, NYC based. So they send in Rocket Raccoon, an experiment from the Weapon Plus program, who is a captured alien. Rocket's like a Wolverine fusion in this world. Rocket and Groot meet up in NYC. They use the Weapon Plus brain tech to fix some of the weird mind warp stuff that's been going on because of the Kulan Gath cosplayer, basically. And then they resolve the main conflict of the event. Other sort of side arcs and miniseries within this event. Barbarics, Selene and Mr. Sinister, who is a new villain in this arc, are literally just screwing with the mind-warped X-Men. We also have Moon Girl and Devil Dragon, Gambit, King of Thieves. We didn't do details on these because we're not going to do that yet. We had other stuff to get to, but this is just stuff that would be happening. And maybe we'll expand on it later. And then an unnamed series that is basically a borrowed version of Dazzler versus Arcade, which is funky. The aftermath of this event is that Sinister gets set up as a new villain, Dazzler starts her redemption arc, because she was a bad guy originally in our world, and Groot is revealed as an alien, Rocket's an alien, aliens are set up. We did some overviews of like the general state of space, which I won't go over now for time, but you can go back and watch them later. But the first space series that we're going to have is the Fantastic Four. This series would take place chronologically, like 15 to 20 years, maybe a little bit more, something like that, before the other series in this universe. But it doesn't affect Earth because in this world, the Fantastic Four go to space, get cosmic irradiated, and that also messes up their ship, and they go way off course and do not come back to Earth. They are basically given the origin of the Starjammers. So they end up on a prison labor planet, meet some inmates, take down the Shi'ar. That leads to like the fall of the Shi'ar Empire. And then they are really, really, really far away from Earth and kind of continues being space heroes for like 20-something years as they try to get back to their home planet again. They can't find their home planet because it's hidden because of Infinity Stones, but that's sort of a separate thing. Time skip forward to the second arc of Fantastic Four. Franklin Richards is here now. He has different powers, but you can see that on the screen or go back and watch for the specifics. Krakan, who is one of the Stonekeeper guys, goes rogue from the pack that hides the Infinity Stones. The Fantastic Four team up with the Juggernaut Nova Corps, essentially, to stop them, or to stop Krakan. Then that goes into Arc 3, where the F4 are like, it's weird that the Novanauts are hiding planets with Infinity Stones. Is that maybe why we can't find Earth again? And then they kind of have a conflict with the Novanauts, make their way back to Earth, and then we're going to do another little space arc that's sort of independent from those things, though related to the Shi'ar, next week. And also next week we will do the crossover for the F4 coming back to Earth, and maybe, depending on time, start on some Spider-Man stuff. This is all very cool. I really like how far this has gone. And let me go to my big camera really quick, go through a couple quick announcements. First off, if you are new to this channel or you have not seen the previous episodes of Matt and Nikhil's Funtime Universe, all 3 of the previous episodes are available on my YouTube. That is in this link tree here. I'm sure someone will also put the link to it in chat. The name is also just the same as it is on every platform, so not that hard to find. Also, you can find other previous things that I have done on that YouTube, the Versus Battle series that I do, and Canon Clash, both of which I will talk about in just a second. But yeah, my YouTube has lots of fun stuff on it. It's still pretty small right now, so get in on the ground floor. Not that there's any benefit to that except for helping me out. As for future streams on this channel, I do a lot here. Usually I stream about 4 times a week. So Mondays is me and Nikhil collabing doing this thing. This is a regular series. Wednesdays, I have been doing something called Very Serious Battles, which is a versus battle series, but very satirical, stupid nonsense versus battles with like kids cartoon characters and fast food mascots, but we actually research and try to make real decisions. And as of the last episode, which is not up on YouTube yet, but will be probably tomorrow, I have a gavel now. I have an actual gavel, and so the court imagery has been multiplied by 10, and it's much funnier that way. So the first 2 episodes are just kind of random, and then 3 is where we really start to hit the stride, and again, that will be up on YouTube tomorrow. This upcoming Friday, Outlaws of the Seven, Episode 3. I actually need to change this announcement thing. It says Outlaws Episode 2 will be up this Wednesday. The first 2 episodes of Outlaws are up on the D & Dorks YouTube now. Episode 3 will be up on Wednesday, and then Episode 4 will be this upcoming Friday. Some cool stuff for Episode 4. Number 1, it is halfway through the series. Outlaws is an 8-episode miniseries, and this is Nathan's last episode. I don't know how, public knowledge that is, but also it's his last episode because he's going on tour, so it's not like it's a secret. I just don't know if people have made that note. So definitely things are going to be going down this 4th episode. As a player, I don't know what. These are secrets that I am not part of yet, but episode 4 is going to be a big one, so this is probably a good one to catch live if you're interested in that. And it's only Monday, so there's plenty of time to watch the 3 episodes before then and catch up if you have not seen it. As for another quick D & Dorks announcement, that actually makes sense. Thinking about announcement structure and priority, that makes sense to do now. So, the other thing that I am quickly announcing for D & Dorks is the next series. Like I said, Outlaws, after this week, we'll only have 4 episodes left. The next D & Dorks thing that we're doing is a Halloween superhero horror series DM'd by me called Agents of Hades. It is going to be incredibly fun. I am very excited about it. It's going to be a charity partnership thing too. I am really trying to amp up the production value. It is going to be fantastic, I hope. That will start Friday, October 13th. So there is a lot of time before Agents of Hades starts, but I'm just trying to advertise it first because, like I said, I'm really trying to amp up the production value. That's the only D & Dorks announcement I have other than that, though. It's also worth noting, Agents of Hades is not the last thing that D & Dorks will be doing. We have stuff planned for after that, but I am not yet at liberty to say. So, Outlaws finishing first, then Agents of Hades. And as a final announcement, this Saturday is a fairly big day on this channel because it is the beginning of Canon Clash Season 2. Canon Clash is a comic book game show. I came up with the whole concept. I made up the show. It's very ridiculous and stupid. It's basically me just gaslighting my friends about comic book related things. The entire first season, I think 7 episodes of Canon Clash, is up on this YouTube if you would like to watch it and figure out how the show goes. And again, first episode of Season 2 is this upcoming Saturday. I am not going to announce the guests yet, except I will say Nikhil is guest hosting episode 1. So if you like Nikhil being on my streams, he is going to be guest hosting this first one. It's going to be the same as Panda guest hosting the finale of, or the second to last finale of the first season. So again, that will be at 8 p.m. Central Time this upcoming Friday. Again, come watch. They're super fun. Ridiculous. I really love how this show has evolved, and I'm really curious how it's going to continue to grow in Season 2. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all of the announcements that I have. Just to run through it one more time. Wednesday, Versus Battles. Friday, D&D. Saturday, Canon Quest Season 2 begins. I guess I should also say, I don't know how long Canon Quest Season 2 is going to run. We'll vibe with it, but it'll be a few episodes. Not just one. So, yeah, I think that is everything I got. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you all, hopefully on Wednesday, for various battles. I guess that's also a fair term. Very Serious Battles, episode 3? No, 4. No, 3. I don't remember what episode number we're on. I'll figure it out. It doesn't matter now. Anyway, point is, I'll see you on Wednesday for Very Serious Battles. Have a good rest of your night.